all right, let me ask you a question. You know how, like, in third-party or stuff, it would be like, there was a Constructor is coming out at the same time as Gravity Builder, or New Age has a Devastator, Magic Square has a Devastator.
Or Seven Springers.
Right. And
the summer of Seven Springers.
Didn't like an 8th one just drop?
Yeah, it did.
And you know how, like, you go into...
What's yours?
Which one?
What's yours? The new Springer.
I only have the Advanced.
He only has 5 of the 7.
Okay.
He's not a completed.
Who was the one that just dropped?
I think the X Transbots is dropping.
Okay.
Well, I thought another one was coming out that was like the one that came in a plastic bag.
Oh, Open and Play.
It's that company.
There's a KO of that coming.
Okay,
too.
Maybe that's what.
That shit was already KO though.
I know.
Already opened,
and it had a Lego face.
But yes, I think we understand the concept of that.
Okay, and normally, if you're a normal human being and not ridiculous like myself, you buy one or the other. You don't buy both.
Well, this table is a little bit different.
Sure.
Yes. But yes, a normal human being.
Yes. And you know how, like, you win some, you lose some. Sometimes you would theoretically get you would pick the wrong horse.
Oh, yeah. I've done that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have 2.
I'm short-toothed horses.
My question to you guys is, what's the worst horse you ever fucking bet on in your life?
Oh, boy.
And I have mine, and I'm super embarrassed about it. Matter of fact, I might call a friend today because I might owe somebody an apology.
Oh shit!
So from a collecting standpoint, like
anything. Mine's not necessarily a collecting standpoint. It's just whenever I think about that purchase, I cringe.
Oh man,
I feel like
for a minute.
The angel. Yeah, I feel like the angel in Dogma when he's like, "This is the guy who thought Crush Groove was going to be bigger than E.T." It's that level of mistake.
I mean, the one that sticks out since we're talking about Transformers was when I got TFC Ares instead of MMC.
Yep. I remember that. I reviewed your Ares,
yes,
didn't
that
I?
was the very first thing I dropped off at your house.
Yep. Anything come to mind?
I don't have anything coming to mind right off.
Bought the wrong laser.
I actually have thought. I have thought that. Not that I bought the wrong one, but at the time I was like, I don't need all those bells and whistles, and now I'm like,
that's the one.
God damn! I wish I'd bought all those bells. Like,
yeah.
I want to, and I'm going to end up upgrading to put like a camera system so I can on the computer see where things going to lay out. I don't have that now. And just to me, it's like I want to get in, but I don't want to get in it. If I'd spend another $1,000 on it, I'd be fat and happy.
I mean,
but
that's
now I'm
usually
going to
my
have to
problem
piece
too.
it together.
It's like being like fucking cheap on shit and then having to buy it again. I've done that so many goddamn times. Like, I don't need the fucking legit shit. Just something similar will work. It doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah. The one that I think about often in regards to that stuff, like the bells and whistles, is my house. Like, because we barely got in this bitch. Like, we could barely afford it. We needed it to come in because we only got approved for a loan for a certain, now I could probably do all right. But at the time,
yeah.
I mean, we barely got in, like by the skin of our teeth. And if I could redo that, if I had like some extra, like if they gave me like $50 extra on the loan, you know what I mean, whatever it is,
yeah.
I would have gotten
light switches.
I got light switches.
Doorknobs.
No.
Light fixtures. That shit fucks me up. My house is also missing light fixtures.
So mine's tied to that.
Mine didn't have any either.
One is fuck. Now I forgot the first one. Oh, hardwired ceiling fans in the kids' bedrooms.
That's what I'm saying. Light fixture. That's what I mean. Like,
so that's one.
The ceiling is flat. That's nothing.
Oh, okay. So that's not what I'm talking about with light.
Yeah.
So the second one is I got like as you can see, like the basic brass like on all my like door hinges and door handles and all that shit. And
would you have gotten the iron rub, the
oil
rubbed iron,
whatever the silver, whatever
the silver, okay.
Whatever the silver
industrial.
Is. It's not like a silver like a
it's brushed nickel, Bobby.
like a trailer park Figaro chain.
That's right.
Oh my god.
Did you like a Figaro?
I had one.
Did you like a Figaro better than a ham bone?
I had
a ham bone. Did you have a ham bone?
I'll be honest with you. All I had was Figaro's until Raekwon did only built for Cuban links, and then all I had was Cuban links from then on.
So historically, I had Figaro, and then I had Cuban links later on. Yeah.
It's so
I've actually
natural progression of things.
I've got a Cuban link at the house. I don't ever wear it.
So mine is awful, and if you guys allow, I'm going to make a phone call, and I'm going to apologize to this guy live.
Was it recent? A recent thing?
No, years ago.
Oh. I hope they're there at Monday at 10,
10,
15.
yeah, it could
maybe
go
he's
either
at
way.
work
Yeah, he could be at work.
or asleep.
I think he worked. I don't know. I think he's off today, but doesn't look like he's gonna pick up. Well, we'll see if maybe he calls back in the time that I'm telling the story. But I know that I owe this gentleman an apology.
Your call.
No. Okay, so let me rewind the clocks back a bit. Okay,
What year?
2008.
All right, in your head,
Best year of my life.
in your head, as we're fading into this flashback, what 2008 song is playing?
So it's funny that you say that.
Because is this music related?
It's music related.
Oh no,
Of course.
This isn't about Crisscross coming back, is it?
No, but oh god, I'm already embarrassed. I don't tell many people this story because it's like, nobody likes to be wrong, obviously. Yeah. But when you're just all like, you could only make a right or a left and you 100% make the wrong turn, it's one of those. Mm-hmm. Do you need that?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to make the big jump, Joe, from a Walkman because I'm tired of having to put shit on tape. I can't even find blank tapes really anymore, but I hate a fucking Discman, right?
You have to hold it like this.
Correct.
Palm of your hand, walking around like a dick.
Correct. So I'm going to make the big leap, and I'm going to get myself an MP3 player. Mm-hmm. And I got a fucking Zune. And they sold,
Yep, that was 2008, all right.
They sold it to me on the strength of I could share songs with people. So like you could plug, like I could plug mine into yours, so to speak, and we could swap songs, so to speak. Mm-hmm. But what they don't tell you about that is like you only have it for like a couple days, and then the song deletes. It wasn't like a permanent thing.
It's like boring.
Now, what they also didn't tell you is that you're never going to find another human being with one, so you can't fucking share songs anyway. And what's worse is, oh man, I wish he'd call back. Oh God, dude. I knew it was the wrong choice. And he asked me what he should get.
Oh no.
I wanted someone to share songs with.
Oh no.
And I recommended the Zune.
Oh no.
Bobby, you gaslit somebody over a Zune.
And to this day, I feel fucking super guilty.
Do you still have the Zune?
No, fuck no. Actually, I might in some fucking bucket somewhere.
I got a gigabit. I refuse Apple products. I was there.
Jimmy.
How are you?
I'm well. Do you have a quick minute?
Yeah.
All right, you're live on Nerve Rage Radio.
All right.
I was telling a story, correct, so don't say anything that would criminally indict you. I was telling a story, and I said in the midst of the story, have you ever like you had to make a decision on a purchase, and you 100% make the worst possible decision regarding that purchase? Like it was a 50-50, and you came up tails when you should have bet heads.
Okay. Are you asking have I ever?
If you have one that springs to mind, I'm welcome to hear it.
Nothing at the top of my head, but go ahead.
Okay. So I was like, there's one that springs to my mind, and as a result, I actually owe somebody an apology. And that person that I owe the apology to is you. So
really?
I just want to go ahead and get it out there and clear the air. I am sorry for recommending that Zune to you.
Recommending the what?
The Zune, the MP3 player.
Oh. It's the best because you can also listen to the radio.
That's the big selling point.
I tried finding that not that long ago, and I couldn't. It's crazy. I just must have missed that prized possession for so long.
I told them that even when I recommended it to you, I knew it was the wrong choice, but I just wanted somebody to trade songs with.
Can one Zune find another? So, Bobby, if you find yours, can you ping his?
Nah,
and
you had to hardwire that bad boy.
Oh man.
Yeah. So
yeah, and it was like a messed up cord or stupid cord or something.
It's true. Like there was a cord that didn't come with the fucking Zune, and nobody had one.
Like a 5-pin something bizarre. Yeah.
So I don't want to hold you up, but I just wanted to apologize to you in front of 1,000 listeners and two of my close friends here.
All right. Well, I'm glad we were able to figure that out.
All right. Take it easy, buddy.
See you, man.
Love you.
Yo, not for nothing. That dude kind of sounded like Greg from Mercy.
Yeah,
A little bit. But I don't regret my Gigabeat though.
I don't even know what that is.
It did what
Yeah,
I
me
wanted
neither.
to do, and like I never got. That might be a possible reason why I never got sucked down the Apple rabbit hole.
I had a Sansa.
Oh, so
It sounds like a
nobody had an iPod. I eventually got an iPod.
Well, I wasn't Apple literate. I mean, I'm still not Apple literate, but
Yeah,
I
same.
definitely wasn't before.
Well,
I had
I'm
to
using
drag
an
on.
iPad fucking now.
Yeah, I mean, I use their products, but I'm not like
I think they're the only product I use.
I don't go out of my way for their products.
A Sensa sounds like a pyramid scheme.
What's up?
Well, all you need, Joe, is
Since-
four people underneath you. I'm telling you, that's the whole point of this whole thing.
Yeah.
The cool table is it's more of a parallelogram.
Oh, wow. Deep
It's-
pull.
It is, man.
No, it's a
Third
it was
A Maltese Falcon.
level marketing.
Multi-level
There's a new
marketing,
term
MLM.
for it now with like Earth, Wind, and Fire and shit. Someone tried to sell me on it recently.
Oh, yeah.
Have you guys ever been pitched multi-level marketing and you didn't realize that's
Mul-
what it was
Oh,
till
no,
you
I
were
always
already?
knew.
I knew what it was.
I always knew what it was because
I knew what it was.
Have you ever?
I never partook.
participated in anything? Have you ever bought or sold, tried to sell?
No.
No, but this is becoming the Jimmy episode. Let me tell you, his wife has got into all of them.
Now, still,
And,
currently.
like, I think
Cincy?
she's finally checked out. But I mean, and she's
See, that's why Sensa sounds like pyramid scheme.
Oh,
Someone
it
tried to
does.
sell me
Sounds like
Sensi.
Cincy.
and she's a delightful woman. Don't get me wrong. I love her to death. But I mean, she was doing all of it. She got into
Amway?
the sex toys.
yeah.
I'm sure she did the candles. I don't know. Like
I've
the
heard-
scrapbooking, the Lululemon, the fucking whatever. You know what I mean? All that shit.
I have heard those adult toy parties. Like you can make a fortune at those, depending on how
Are you
much.
trying to sell us on your multi-level marketing right now?
Well, guys, you just need 4 people underneath you. That means a couple things in this. No, I'm kidding. I had a. You ever heard of? I think it's one called Herbalife. It's
Yes.
like supplements and stuff.
It's like T-Tox and bullshit like that.
Yeah, and there's they had something. It was like a drink powder pouch, and it was called Boost. And it anyways.
There were patches at some point.
Yeah, there was all sorts of shit. And I had a buddy. You know, anytime my friends do something, I try to support them if it's possible. So I had a buddy.
That's fucking.
Well,
You know what?
Pyramid scheme.
This is becoming a sharing day. But I got an embarrassment.
oh, hang on. I'm not. I'm nowhere near done here.
Okay,
Bobby.
beautiful, good.
So I supported him in that, whatever. So I had left the film industry. I was working with my dad.
Moved on.
Moved on. We'd started, this business we were running out of his house. So there was a ad in the newspaper. You guys remember those? They were these big. You had to unfold them. They made a ton of
pay
racket.
money for that.
Yeah, it was like 50 cents a day.
I
or-
remember looking for jobs in the newspaper
Yeah,
as a
so
kid.
was
That's
it with
what
a red
this-
pen.
that's what
And
this
you go,
was.
And you call them.
Yeah.
That's what this was. It said something about. I don't remember the exact wording. Basically, something to do with the video rental or yada yada yada. It was
Yeah.
an opportunity. Well, I called and talked to the guy a little bit and told him my background, which he seemed super excited about. He's like, "Yeah, why don't we, come to my place and meet?" And he like owned a cabinet shop or something, and that's where. And I think he lived in the cabinet shop too.
Makes sense. It's already.
It's actually not
fixtures.
that odd.
I mean, it's
for people to-
cabinets. We have cabinets.
Was it like a little like house over top, like a little like loft?
No,
kind
this
of-
wasn't like
or,
an-
he was like sleeping on top of the fucking.
Well, they had a setup, but this was like an industrial strip. And to get there and we get to talking. And long story short, it is a multi-level marketing campaign. This DVD players were new to the market, and this was Netflix.
I love them, by the way.
This was essentially Netflix. I've heard. I've actually moved. I rearranged some stuff the other day, Bobby, and I took this was actually a Blu-ray player. Flex! I took it from one shelf and moved it to the other. It didn't get anywhere near plugged in. Let me make sure.
I mean, that's when people fucked up. You're talking about picking the wrong thing. When people picked the goddamn Xbox for the HD DVD instead of the PlayStation for the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah,
why?
it's fucked up.
Do you know why HD DVD lost out?
Pornography.
Do you know why Betamax lost out?
Pornography.
Yep. It's great.
Do you know why the Zune lost out?
Because it was dumb.
Oh my goodness!
And it was a pyramid scheme at this
Well,
cabinet
it was-
shop.
Running. So, and the deal was,
Did he have DVDs in a cabinet?
no, he had He had just wanted it. Long story short, and I think it was like $89 or something, and they sent you. We got a free DVD player, which was like the cheapest thing, and it came months later.
Right.
And the same people that I bought all their fucking vitamins and shit. Yeah, they didn't even come to my. You put an ad in the newspaper and basically do the same thing he did, and it was a great concept. It was just ahead of its time, and I never made a penny from it. So
you lost money though?
I mean,
usually you lose money when you get in the pyramid scheme.
This wasn't one of those deals where you have to buy like $4,000 worth
per month,
and it comes every month. Yeah, no, this was
no. Like my problem is like I get approached with pyramid schemes, but sometimes they're from like nice people that I like, but like I know they're not the smartest. That's why they got roped in,
right?
And I don't have the heart to tell them they're in a pyramid scheme because they're in too deep. Because sometimes I tell them like you know this is a pyramid scheme that you're pitching me, right? You know, but sometimes I'm just like, that sounds nice. Good luck in your endeavors.
Right.
But I feel like it's my bad for not fucking calling it out.
Yeah, that's fair. So let me tell you the embarrassing story. Now we gotta go back in time again.
Oh, farther back?
What year are we at now?
So
you still didn't tell me what song's playing when we.
So I'll be honest with you, I don't. Off
Taylor
the top of my
Swift,
head,
I think 2008.
I don't know, but all I thought about was the Zune. So
like Bobby, just real quick on the Zune. Mm-hmm. How long after purchase? I mean, were you excited when you got home and you got it? Do you remember?
I think so.
Or were you just apprehensive about the whole thing?
I think so because I was actually like in I was like it was my first endeavor into like downloading music,
digital music,
kind of.
Oh, that's why you hate that shit because you started off on the wrong foot.
No, I love downloading music. I do love downloading music. What I don't love is that I can't download. Like I would buy, like even if I don't want the whole album, because you remember they used to do if you bought the whole album, you could also download the digital booklet.
Yep.
I would be okay if I don't want to buy the whole album, but I'll spend $2 for the booklet so I can see. I'm that nerd. I like to see the liner notes. I like to see who engineered it. I like to see who produced it. I like to see what the sample is from. Like I'm just that type of music nerd. So I really hate that that's going away. In regards to streaming music, I have I love it, but I also buy it digitally as well. So what I usually do is I like when music comes out, I'll add it to a playlist. Like I call it rotation. So like I'm on rotation 7 currently, and like when the rotation gets too long of a playlist where I'm not hearing all the songs enough anymore, then I move on to the next rotation. But I listen to it. If I'm not immediately in love with it, I listen to it over the course of months, and if I love it, then I buy it to support the artist to give them like 70 cents as opposed to the fractions of a penny they're going to get every time I listen to it. And if Apple Music ever goes away, or if I decide I don't want to use Apple Music anymore, or whatever the case may be, I always have access to it. It's not like other like shit where like if you lose the app, you lose the songs.
Yeah, subscription shit. Yeah.
So I love streaming music overall. That's how I feel about it, the user friendly element. I'm torn because of those things. Mm-hmm. But so we're going to travel back in time to I think 2004, 2005, somewhere around there.
So good for me.
So actually, one of the best days of my life was actually I had numerous of the best days of my life in 2004. I walked out of a courtroom the day before Thanksgiving in 2004 feeling like $1 million in $1 bills, like taking up the whole suitcase. I got married. I had no, I didn't get married. That's not true. That was next year. So and then I went to a honeymoon 2005. Like, so I had a lot of great memories in 2004, 2005. Neither here nor there. My wife went to a sex toy party with some gals. And now I state the year because I just want to draw you in that this is 24-year-old me.
It's a lot of good music that year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is 24-year-old me, not 25-year-old me, not 35-year-old me, certainly not 40-year-old me. I'm outgoing, but there's also some things I keep more private. Unlike now, where it's kind of like a fucking goddamn free-for-all.
All hang out, bro.
So some of these people that go to the sex toy party are friends of my friends of my wife, like, all the hens clucking about, right? And the anal beads comes up.
Oh, hell yeah.
And my wife says, "Oh, they're great. I got them for Bobby." In front of all of them.
How do you find out?
from when we went to go pick him up, and then it was like obvious that like Laura had this like in my mind anyway. Laura had this like guilty thing. Like you could tell when she knows she's fucked up, you know. And so anyway, it was like a super embarrassing thing for me. But the truth is that my wife really enjoys them on me, but I found out from that I do not. You know, like I'm not into it. And that's not to say that I like some. I've said this before. I like some pressure. I don't like some,
on the outside.
I don't like
on the outside.
Yes, but I don't want any penetration. I don't find it enjoyable. And I've tried numerous different things.
You never had a tug of war with a long beat with your wife?
Nope.
Both stick a bunch of balls in your ass and then you pull and see who get the most out. No?
Nope.
I have the most boring life in the world.
But anyway, that was in the pyramid scam. You know what the thing is about those things, and I don't know how we got here, but we're here. The thing is,
That's how.
The thing is about those things is you really just you exhaust your friend base.
You do.
Oh yeah.
And then you're fucked.
And then no one trusts you again.
Yeah, and then you move on to the next
and
thing.
then you're that guy.
And you try to exhaust your friend base again.
That's how you end up with people from high school 20 years ago you never talked to hitting you up and say, how are you doing? Oh, do you know I have a new business?
Dude,
that's why
that happened to me.
That
happened to me, and it broke my heart. Like a guy who I hadn't spoken to in forever. Like
you were excited about it?
Yeah, I was just like, oh shit, man. Like, because usually I'm the dude that goes back to reach out to people.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, somebody reached out to me. Like, what a thing. And like, he was like, we're catching up for like 5 or 6 texts. He's like, yeah, but I really want to tell you about this business I'm into. And I was like, dude, I can't believe you just did this to me, man. After what him and I specifically have been through in our past, I was like, I can't believe you did this to me.
Was that your first incident? Because I just assumed that
was.
like anytime like someone hit me back from way back when, or like that I don't know, they never knew that well, I assume that's what it is, and like 9 out of 10 times that is what it is.
Yeah, no, it was.
I can't believe it's so prevalent in 2021 that pyramid schemes are still around.
Yeah, I guess you can do it even digitally now. I guess.
I just think people know better.
Yeah, you would think.
Well, yeah, but you know what? Old people get ripped off all the time. I mean, COVID was rough on old people getting scammed.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, even like, I don't know. You think about how does any of these scams work?
But
like
I mean,
they said, like, what, $4 million got scammed out of the Maryland unemployment system during COVID?
Yeah.
But like, you think people our age would know better because we grew up with pyramid schemes being a big deal. And like, obviously, if you're into a pyramid scheme, you either know you're scamming people or you believe in it because you're an idiot.
Mm-hmm. Or I remember there was a guy that my parents there was a guy that my parents went to church with. I promise you, I can think of 3 separate times where he had called and said, "Hey, you guys got time after dinner for a cup of coffee and maybe talk about an opportunity?" 3 different times.
Opportunities.
You see, if you invest on the ground floor, Joe, all you need, Joe, is you got 4 people you can rely on that want to make some extra money, Joe.
Dude, did they still do the time splitting fucking
timeshares?
Timeshares is that still a thing?
It is, and it's a there's a whole like other side to that now. There's a lawyer that specializes in getting people out of timeshares.
You know what that makes me think of is when the turtles found the I think it was when they found the subway house, and they're like, wait guys, wait, timeshare. Think timeshare,
right?
Yeah, bro. Like you can just get Airbnb nowadays. It's like timeshare, except
it essentially is.
So this week, Joe, you got your coffee first. Chris, how was your nerd week?
I had an opportunity to kind of feel old this week. I'm going to ask you guys this question and see what your answer is.
All right, let's have it.
First Jim Carrey movie that comes to mind, Bobby.
Ace Ventura.
Okay.
Did we just become best friends?
Jinx. Yup.
So we're sitting at dinner with Kelly and I and Mason and his girlfriend. They're both 18, 19. And Jim Carrey comes up in some capacity, and and I'll take partial fault for this for never making it available. But Mason says, so Jim Carrey to me is the Grinch, the villain from the Sonic movie.
Wow.
I'm like, wow. And then
that hurts.
And
that
then
really hurts.
Then his girl
I'm good with the Grinch.
Yeah.
Then his girl peppered in like Mr. Popper's Penguins. And I'm like, you don't know that Jim Carrey to me like is always that
Dumb and Dumber.
Like, yeah. Well, that's
super, like,
Dumb and Dumber is what we were talking about, and they were like, I don't think, because Kelly hates that movie, and I just went, she's like, don't fucking do it.
I never watched the second one.
Nah, you're good. Nobody needs to see that.
I saw it and it wasn't good. But I think it had one part in it. In my mind says, dude, but there is that one part that's funny as shit.
We were talking about this last week, where you can find one good thing,
redeemable
out
thing.
Of
One redeemable
and then
thing.
you get a fucking Jim Carrey 1/6 scale figure. Oh, you know, like we should have really said instead of, I guess that's his most iconic, but like the correct answer, I feel like should be in living color.
It is, but it's not a film.
Yeah.
I mean, the likelihood that somebody, a 20-year-old person, would have watched in living color compared to some movies. I watched a documentary on HBO, Bobby.
Which one?
That's
Class Action Park.
What was it called?
Class Action Park.
What's it about?
It's about Action Park, which is a water park in New Jersey.
I saw it. It's fucking awesome.
Holy shit.
Wait, what is this on?
So it's on HBO Max.
So tell me about it.
Okay.
I'm not going to watch
the
it.
greatest streaming service out there.
So I had I'll be honest with you, Bobby. I wanted to watch something. I said, I'm going to find an HBO documentary.
That's
to
how
see
you know
what
you're
it's
old, by
all
the way.
about. Well, it's recommended by my friend here because he's always watching those documentaries.
And I have never seen a bad one.
So Action Park, basically there was a guy who owned a downhill ski resort. He actually pioneered some of the first snow making equipment.
The shit that blows.
Because it's cold enough in Jersey, for 3-4 months a year to ski, but there's not snow. So he created that. And then he figured out, I have an off season that's longer than my work season. Mm-hmm. Let's build a water park. So they built Action Park. So
wait, a water park on the same property, but not on the fucking hill, right?
Not on the same. I think it's all on the same property, and it
So
comes in later. Like
Okay.
he was leasing the land from the state or something. He owned part of it, and he was leasing some of it. So apparently, one woman described it. Those kids, if you went to a birthday party, the kids that broke everything and tried to flush the cat down the toilet. It was all those kids at Action Park.
It's true.
They had made a water slide with a loop in it.
No.
But it wasn't engineered properly.
It wasn't, and there was no engineering. It was like, it'd be like, Joe, you own the water park. I'm like, hey, man, I got an idea for a water park.
I mean, that sounds
for
super
a water ride.
awful.
Yeah, I mean, people were getting their teeth knocked out.
What year was this?
This was in the started in the 70s and
Okay,
into the,
okay.
I think it was actually open to like 92.
It had a long ass run.
Yeah, people died.
Mad people got hurt.
So you know what, like
fucking loop-de-loop water slide.
So that's just the tip of the iceberg. So like like a lazy river.
Yeah.
Okay, so take that and then turn it about 45 degrees where it's downhill. People were like getting bumped off, knocked down. Somebody got electrocuted on that ride because they had electric fans underneath blowing the water, and she fell out of the boat or whatever.
It's fucked.
That is crazy. So like they didn't have any kind of codes or permit for this thing. They just built it basically.
Yeah, I mean, this
is worse than like Carney shit.
Yeah,
this is one of the carniest things. And listen, I know Carney,
but it's like permanently located.
All the people that work there are just getting stoned.
Yeah, it's basically you. And they have 14-year-olds operating rides.
70s.
The commercials. The commercials.
Make America great again, right?
I mean, the commercials make it look like the most fun place in the world.
Commercials.
And
even some of the real footage looks pretty fun. I mean, it's super
You
dangerous,
just get
but
fucked
it
up.
looks pretty fun.
They had a 30-foot cliff you could jump off of, but the problem was people were swimming down there.
Oh, you just jump and land on.
Just drop in on top of people.
It's true.
This sounds amazing.
It's like some sort of military training. And then there was a slide that was accompanying this drop. Is that if you didn't want to really think about having to jump, it just dropped off.
It just slides you right the fuck off into people downstairs.
Yeah, there was a guy on there, the guy with the receding redheaded guy with
It's been a while.
He's an actor. He had bit parts in like The Office and
Which one?
the American one.
The long one, yeah.
The long one, yeah. He was the guy.
The long one.
Dwight hired him to kill somebody, and it ended up in comic hijinks. He was also in Parks and Rec. But he was talking about like his parents wouldn't take him, but the kid down the street was like, those kids visited dad on the weekends, and dad would take his kids too, or something like that. And the parents were like, well, I don't have to do anything. Yeah. But it's like, you have this overwhelming sense of excitement and fear at the same time.
That's
like, you
amazing.
don't know what's going to happen.
It's true.
I mean, that's why people go free climbing, right? You
Right,
could
exactly.
fucking fall to your death, or you
Yeah.
could have a great time.
And then they created another park that was like a motor
franchise?
No. Another place. It was like a motorsports park. They had
Same people. That own
yeah.
it.
Go karts. They had speedboats with an outboard motor behind them, like in a racetrack. And they also served alcohol here. I don't know if I
Is
mentioned
there
that.
age limit to these places? Or no?
I didn't see any age limits posted. I also didn't see any families at all. It was mostly just
Kids, like
horrible, like
teenagers and young
14
20s.
14 to
no
24.
one in charge. It's just kids that just
No,
walk in.
lifeguards
no,
are just kind of
no
casually
adults.
there. You know, they'd wave people through or whatever. Dude, it ends up being like he didn't pay. He wasn't paying taxes, and they were on his ass about permits. So he just quit paying for everything. Waited out the New Jersey land board, and they finally just sold him the fucking property, so he didn't have to deal with it. So then he didn't have.
Wow.
He never.
Got game removed, bro.
He never settled an injury lawsuit. He always basically bled him out in court.
Because he had the money to.
Yeah,
How did the court not find him guilty when?
I mean,
it's
if you do
70s or 80s or
continuations, every time that
It was like
lawyer
in the
walks in the
90s,
room,
wasn't it?
you got to pay, right? So if it's just you or me, we're like, fuck, we're into. I'm spending more money than I could possibly get out of this.
Right.
There was a couple people did
There
die.
shouldn't, because I thought like if you lose a lawsuit, you had to pay the other person's like lawyer's fees and shit. Don't you?
Nah,
I don't know. I'd never fucking
I don't
litigate
know.
it.
I've
Yeah,
never
knock
done
on
it.
wood.
But they had a wave pool. That 2 people got killed in the wave pool. It was so violent they'd have to. I'm gonna be honest with
That
you.
sounds.
Have you
amazing,
guys
by
ever?
the way.
Have you
A
guys
wave
ever?
pool that's that fucking serious?
Have you guys ever been in a wave pool before?
Yeah, I fucking love wave
Bobby, have
pools.
you ever been in a wave pool?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
That's the best part.
I don't like them. The reason I don't like them is there's so many people and that
Well,
water's clapping so hard. I'm not worried about the water. I'm worried about some dumbass
Running into.
running into here.
Right.
You know,
No, I don't like it
something.
when it's crowded. Like when you like see those fucking pools like in China when you don't see the water, it's just like people, and you just see people.
Oh,
waiting.
yeah, that's too much.
That's
No.
that's awful.
They said that the new lifeguards, they would always station at the deep end of the wave pool, and they said in like their first shift they'd pull 7 or 8 people out of the water.
Because you get sucked in there.
Well, that or they were just flailing, or people get in. The thing that boggled my mind is people didn't know how to. Would you go to if you didn't know how to swim? I'm not saying like championship swimming. If
Right.
you knew how to
Tread water.
tread water,
The-
save yourself.
No, there's people that join the Navy that don't know how to swim. Like in boot camp, they can't. They have to learn to swim during boot camp.
Wow. They had go karts that
crazy.
were
Yeah, that's crazy.
that they had taken the governors off that would do like 50 miles an hour. That they would ride up and down the highway at night.
I mean, the
They had
name,
this-
dude, it's not false advertising. This shit is Action Park, bro.
They had made this downhill thing, and you were on this. It was almost just like
Device.
what was a scooter, and I can see them in my mind. It's like there's a butt print for your butt, and there's little wheels.
Yeah,
and there's
yeah,
like
yeah.
a handle
Like
in the front, and the handle was supposed to be a brake. Well, this course was so aggressive, if you didn't brake at just the right point,
It would throw you
would
off
throw
the-
you off the thing. So this one kid got thrown off, hits his head on a rock, and dies like 5 days later. Do you know?
I don't mean to laugh.
I know, but like that's
This is their legal answer to the lawsuit. We didn't put those rocks there. What the ride didn't kill him. The rocks killed him. They ended up selling it for like $100,000 for
a
that
dead kid.
for a dead kid. It's been.
that is crazy. And they were in business for like 20 years.
Do you know the reason?
But how come people kept going back?
Well,
I mean,
that's what happened over time. It got such a bad reputation.
Oh, there was no internet back
There,
then.
well, that was part of
and
it.
and I think
There's
a lot
no
of
Yelp.
I think for young people, a lot of the draw was the danger.
Yeah, it was, and it was like, how did they say it? There was the crowd that went to the Hamptons every weekend and went to the beach vacations, and then there was a crowd that went to Action Park. Like, and they said it was mostly people from New York. What did one of the guys that worked there said? These guys, hey, I'm from New York City. And the guy was like, every time I'd be like, oh, what's it like there? How tall are the buildings? Do you think I can go one day? And they're like, dude, it's an hour away. Well, who gives a shit? It was great.
What's it like there?
Me and Kelly were like with our jaws on the floor for the majority of the time that this stuff happened. It was wild. It was wild. They said there was just one little like outbuilding by one of the rides. They said you went in there to smoke weed and fuck.
Yeah.
And they said, I don't know why, because it smelled like, and when he said this, I knew exactly what it meant. It smelled like backpacks. and dirty balls.
Backpack.
Oh God! So that was super entertaining. I highly recommend
I'm
that.
entertained hearing about this.
Oh man, it was so good. It was so good. I'm not gonna. We watched Suicide Squad. We'll get in that in a minute. I watched the first Guardians movie.
I'm supposed
yesterday.
to watch that tomorrow night on movie night in Discord.
I'll
be anxious to hear your opinion.
Yeah, I am too. But I watched Guardians. I'm like, you know what? I needed to watch it for the context of something from something I'm building, but I was like, I want to watch this because this is, I'd say the most famous of the James Gunn genre movies. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of he definitely has a style.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I like. I'm not going to say I don't.
Right.
I'll tell you
the first one.
The first Guardians. Yeah.
I'll tell you after seeing this, I can tell you I prefer the rated R style over the PG style.
The Suicide Squad being rated R. Yeah.
So like just the kind of completely insane things that they were able to do because of the rating.
Yeah, because you had to tone it down.
Correct.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is seeing him with the kind of leash off, and I prefer that.
So, I think the music. I think I said when we finished it, I was like, even if I didn't know who directed this and I saw the music, I would have think, oh, this is a James Gunn film.
I'll tell you, I'd love to see him do Deadpool. At this, after seeing Suicide Squad, I was like,
if they let him roll,
this is the guy for that job.
Yeah, I mean, I can see him doing Deadpool even after Guardians movies. That vibe is.
If they let him make that
back
movie,
in the door,
if they make him,
or if he wants it, still do.
Yeah,
work for Marvel.
Right.
Almost finished a new piece for the Mythic stuff. Our Mythic Pieces collection. Bigger piece, some new details. Kelly actually found the design and we worked together on it, and looking forward to getting that up this week. Working on another project I can't talk about. I think I showed you guys.
Mm-hmm. You took a quote unquote break, but during the break you just
no. That's what you got. That's what everybody doesn't realize. The break is just a production break. I have to keep on working behind the scenes.
You're just getting ready for the next.
Ready for the next. I mean, Kelly worked on the paint because we're doing a new paint scheme. Everything we do is gray. There's some gray in this, but it's got some nice pops of color.
I told you that.
Yeah,
I noticed that.
And that's something her and I talked about is adding some more color to the color palette. I mean, it still fits in great with our existing pieces.
It doesn't never have to be like saturated. It doesn't have to be like fucking primary colors, but just something different. It makes it really nice.
Let me see what else. I think that was it. Oh, is there such a thing as a social media consultant? I'm sure there is.
Yeah, sure.
Because. Yeah. I don't know.
They will.
I just feel like I'm missing out on something by not being like more active with like YouTube and stuff.
There's people to do that. There's also. Have you gotten it on Nerd Rage? Like where companies or people reach out to you to ask you if they can manage your social media?
Not on Nerd Rage. I've got it through Skullface.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't need somebody to manage it. I just need like, what direction would you? Here's what I do.
It's the same.
Where do you think I would be best suited to put my? Should I do a paywall? Should I just put it out there?
What I always get the most of with that shit though is like we love what you do and we want to collaborate with you so bad.
I got it as a YouTube email the other day.
And then I go and check what they're into, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like face creams. And I'm like, perfect. So I'm like, I just respond back like, please cut the check and we'll get going. Yeah. And then when you reply, that's when they actually have to look at your, because it's just algorithm numbers and they're looking at. So then they have to actually look at your content, and they always have to take time out of their day to write me back and say, unfortunately, what you're doing doesn't necessarily fit, but I just want to take time out of their day. Like they took time out of my day, so I just want to take some time out of their day.
You reached out to me. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. So if anybody knows anybody that does that kind of stuff, I want to probably spend some money figuring out where to spend money. It's
I mean, like, is what you're doing not working? Because it seems to be very lucrative.
I'm not saying that it's not working. I just think there's content that could be created about what we do that I'm not doing anything with.
Gotcha.
Right.
But and at this point, I don't know if
it's like the thing is like, do you need more on your plate? Is a question. Because that's where we're getting, or where Krista is getting. It's like, it's just like there's no time anymore. Like between all the social media stuff, and even though everything's following the Twitch, like you just don't have time to make content for TikTok and YouTube and Twitch, and then also promote, and then you have to be on every social media. You have to be on even still posting on Facebook, even if you don't use it, Instagram, Twitter, like it's a lot if you want to get into it. And like I'm not sure if the return is worth it.
And that's part of what I want to. I mean,
and I hate a lot of that shit.
Exactly, but like you do it because
you have
for the return,
right.
or like at least minimally, you have to have a presence
to keep people involved.
That's it. Like I don't always Crashbox have. I used to always try to post like literally once a day on Instagram. So, what do you want to see pictures of the thing? I mean, I'm doing the same thing every day.
Right.
But it just
keeps. You could do. There's a lot of interesting stuff.
That's what I'm saying. I have a very interesting path, I guess, with to business market with the equipment I have, and look, I know people just like to freaking watch that kind of shit run, and I just need to figure out should I do Twitch? Should I do Patreon?
I'm telling you, it costs you other than like initial equipment or wherever you want to. Not that you're fucking short on equipment funds, like especially for what you do.
Don't talk about my equipment like that, Joe.
Bro, you got nice equipment with all the bells and whistles.
That's right.
You just need to let it run.
Yeah.
And people will just watch, and like it's just you're not doing anything different other than having the goddamn camera on, and you can interact once in a while if you feel.
I know, and
that's the easiest way. Because like, I don't know if YouTube is the best way. Because YouTube is best for like tutorials or like showing progress, where you have to put a little more like editing and investment in like talking. Right, Twitch is just letting it run, and TikTok. I'm not sure if you know TikTok.
I'm very familiar with TikTok.
Okay, so TikTok is very good for like short form tutorials. So for what you do is like I cut and I zap and I zip and then
a doodah
and then the fucking put and pop.
Yeah.
That guy's still around.
So
that takes a lot of work. Like,
it does.
TikTok takes so much more work than it looks. Cause
it does. I've done a couple.
It's a fucking 10-second video, but it takes you so long.
Yeah, because there's so many different things you can do, and you can. I mean, there's some people in the toy hobby that use TikTok, which ends up being Instagram or Reels or whatever too.
Exactly, and then you can also share it on everything.
Yeah.
But like I said before, is the return going to be worth it for the time investment for certain things?
Yeah, I wish I had some kids that use TikTok that would help me.
Right,
but they won't do shit.
Because like you were saying, you don't need a person to manage it for you, but like that's kind of what you need if you don't want to spend that kind of time. Someone to do like you just give them all the content and they put it together into packages for these platforms.
Right. Anywho, we'll probably be opening the website back up later. Well, whenever this posts, probably shortly around then. So
you're gonna have people sitting there refreshing on your page.
Who knows?
I think Twitch is a good platform if you are trying to build something. And when I say build something, I mean in terms of a community or viewership or whatever. Like I think it's a good platform to get it rolling. I think Patreon is good when you have the base.
Yeah.
Like that you can tap into. Like that's when you have people that are already like, yeah, I'm in. I already know I like whatever this is, so I'm going to jump in here to get more. But if you need to be like, hey, look, this is what I'm thinking about doing, Twitch is a good place to like showcase. And then if you build that, then Patreon's a good place to kind of move forward.
But the problem with Patreon is if you create additional content, where Twitch is like you're getting paid to do Twitch. Well,
you can go live on Patreon.
Right, but like why would you if you?
Because the splits are higher.
Or is that what it is?
Yeah.
Because
I mean, it's 90-10.
Unless you make partner, which takes a lot of views. But I feel like you can get it with your fucking established base.
Get what?
Money or enough view because
that's basically the root of this conversation.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like Twitch. All you need is 50 not subscribers, followers to get affiliate. That's when you just start monetizing. And then like if you average like 75 views per stream and certain other things, then you become partner and you get higher cut. And then you get more, the algorithm will push you harder.
Well, I was looking at YouTube the other day. I've got the subs for YouTube to get monetized, but I don't have the watch hours. I'm not even halfway to the watch hours on YouTube.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah, it's I think it's 40,000 maybe.
Oh, wow.
It's a lot. I mean,
remember back in the day, you can just monetize with like one video
I know.
One view.
So
it used to be the opposite. It used to have like you had to earn it.
Yeah, and then
it was a free. I got in during the free for all
period. Yeah,
and then they clamped it back down.
I remember when Shoutouts had to like fucking scramble.
Yeah, and then they didn't use it anyway. Don't get me started. I mean, I'm only saying that because Shattercast guys know how I feel about that shit, so it's not like I'm letting out any
dirty
laundry.
I have 1,600 subs on.
It's good.
on here, and I don't even know how to look at that.
I got to talk about it. That fucking show made $100 a year on YouTube. Shattercast, $100 a year.
100 whole dollars.
100 whole doll hairs a year, and our fees for the podcast were $100. So it was a clean cut break, as long as somebody just clicked the button. And when nobody could click the button, I was like, "Look, I'm out."
Wasn't there like 9 of yours, motherfuckers, in there at one point?
Well, so the tricky thing was, and this is I shouldn't be talking about this shit, but this is I mean, because I love those guys, it's nothing with them. But like the tricky thing is that so Justin used to do it, but.
He's a responsible one.
Yes, 100%. And when you have multiple channels, it doesn't show you what money's coming from what place. So it was hard for him to regulate. Fuck, is it $20 here or 10? I don't know. And
that's right.
So then it was the same for me, and it was the same for Matt.
Oh yeah, I forgot Matt has a channel.
So then it came down to Greg and Robert. And Robert,
it's irresponsible.
But not only
he also
that,
don't care.
But yeah, he'd also be like, "Dude, how about I just pay it forever?"
Exactly.
And I'm like, "That's not the fucking point, man. It's like we're
leaving
leaving money on the table. Did we just become best friends
again?
And something else, Bobby, I wanted to ask you is this metric here, and this is just my silly little amount of views. Are you seeing this kind of 60-30 split between not subbed and subbed, or is yours higher?
I don't know how to get to that page.
I hear that people mention that a lot. Like even big YouTubers are like, I see, thanks for all the views, but I noticed like 80% of you guys aren't fucking subscribing that you watch all the time.
There's this wrestling channel.
How do you get to that? Is it YouTube Studio? Or?
Yeah, it's YouTube Studio, and then it's dashboard.
Oh, mine.
No, I'm sorry, it's analytics.
Oh, I gotta download that app. I don't have that app.
It's like people have like
really, it's in my YouTube app.
Yeah, not for me.
Oh, okay.
It's like people have like 100,000 subs, but like 1 million views. It's
So this wrestling channel I watch, the guy literally like every morning he brings it up and he says, "I'll dance if you want." And when he dances, they get more subs. So
you can dance if you want.
He does, and
anytime
he can leave his friends behind. So, all right.
Oh, are you?
I'm as done as I need to be. Yeah.
Copy that, Joseph.
I didn't have much going on. What do I have? Oh, good. Well, good-ish news, bad-ish news. Berserk 354 is going to be published in a couple months or next month. Apparently, he worked on one more chapter that hasn't been released, and it's going to be released.
That's awesome.
It's good. It depends what it is, because like I said before, like it left off at a pretty good place.
Oh, okay. I would phone a friend.
Is somebody?
Did
somebody have to finish it? I mean, was it like?
It wasn't really said.
Okay.
But like they said, this is the last chapter he's working on and it's being released, and there's also going to be like a tribute to him.
That's cool.
But like no news of like continuation. But it's cool. We get one more post-mortem. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's, well received.
Yeah.
We'll see. And I didn't do too much this week. I went to a fancy French restaurant for my mom's birthday. I had 4 soufflés. I'm feeling it still. 2 days ago.
Wow. 4 soufflés.
Dude, they're like big size soufflés too. I had a regular ass meal.
I saw your picture.
And then I was like, give me one of each of your, because you don't get soufflés regular easily. You don't.
Like what flavor soufflés were they?
I had an amaretto, a hazelnut, a chocolate, and a Grand Marnier.
Oh, Grand Marnier.
Which one did you like the best?
Soufflés.
Okay. Easy breezy.
Like,
are they?
I wouldn't be mad at any one of them. They're hard to make, and nobody really serves them except for fancy
do they have alcohol? Is that Grand Marnier like the same?
It burns out.
Yeah, it burns out. But I get the flavor.
Just the flavor.
Well, it doesn't burn out completely because soufflés are like rawish on the inside.
Yeah,
so, like,
true.
There's a hint, and that's as much alcohol as I ever.
I'm surprised you weren't stumbling out of the fucking restaurant.
Yeah, with your low
with the Asian glow.
Not necessarily the same thing, but I much prefer a creme brulee.
I love
over a
they're easily accessible. Like,
yeah,
that's
part of
true.
the charm.
Yeah,
is
McDonald's has one now, so
it's creme brulee donuts.
It's a Mick brulee.
Mick brulee. It's like one of those like
It's got a
rare
hamburger patty in it.
hot dessert.
I remember Dennis Leary doing that stand-up bit where he was like, I'm sure the French hate us, but who gives a shit? Oh, you work for hundreds of years to perfect this ancient fucking recipe that you hand down generation to generation, where you roll the dough in a crescent shape and you call it the croissant. So we take it, cut that bitch in half, put bacon and egg on it, and call it the croissant sandwich.
Damn right.
We made it better. And last night we had some friends over that we haven't had in a while. Played some board games, so it was great. There was another couple. Like, I love board games, but we never really get to play. Mm-hmm. So, because, like, it's not fun, really, most of the time to play with two people. So, like, we had, like, some niche board games. Because, like, board games are, like, huge on, like, Kickstarter and indie.
Absolutely,
indie shit.
yeah.
So, like, the guy is really into them. So, he brought some interesting ones. And, like, the miniatures are so fucking good nowadays.
Cones of Dunshire. Yeah.
What games were there?
Dark Souls, which I love. Bloodborne. That's
a pathogen, I believe.
It is.
It's a path to something.
And some other one I don't remember the name of. But we played Taboo. We end up staying with
Taboo's
Taboo because
it's
a shit. And we got like better and better as we went on.
Taboo's the shit.
We ended up playing that shit for like an hour.
Are these your D&D friends?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. D&D friends are Netherlands and Cali and Oregon.
I thought you had.
That's a different group. I haven't hung out with them since COVID.
Gotcha.
He's got lots of circles, Bobby. We're lucky to be in.
I know. It's like the fucking Olympics over there.
So I'm just wondering, when the Nerd Rage Monopoly game happens, where are you going to stream the whole thing? top down, so you don't see any of it.
I have a Street Fighter Monopoly.
No, it can't be themed. It just needs to be classic.
Yeah, because I got
the paper money.
I guess right before or right after 500. So if we all quit the show and hate each other after that, it can at least have 500 episodes under our belt.
4 more years before we get a play.
Is it that long?
Well, it's basically 50 a year.
We're like
I'm cool to do whatever. I don't really get.
I piss everybody. I don't get salty. People get
I'm
mad
not
at me.
competitive as a thing. I'm like, fucking, I lost, whatever.
I get salty when I lose when the game requires like a ton of strategy. Mm-hmm. Like if like I'm playing spades with somebody, I get when I start losing, I start getting fucking mad. And I don't because
it's not all your fault. I mean, it's cards anyways, but you're depending on somebody
partner
else.
And somebody, yeah. But like if you're playing, Monopoly, you're just buying up the shit. A lot of it's down to the dice roll.
I'm not gonna play Taboo with you then, shit, because that shit is like depending on.
Oh, it's big strategy in Taboo.
Yeah, and also like because you're relying on the other person to either give you a clue or to guess.
I'm telling you,
like I would not play.
I'm a champion. I'm a Taboo champion. Champion.
It depends on how close of a relationship you have with your teammates.
Sure, for sure. Because
I find out like that's what we find when we play Taboo, like how much like personal or like not inside joke, just inside knowledge you have with each other when you start playing. Because I play with this other couple, like I have no idea what they're talking about, but they do, and they have no idea what we're talking about, but we do.
So I love playing Pictionary, and I think that would be fun for us to do. I love playing Pictionary.
Yeah.
Dude, just get a big marker board. And have at it.
We used to do.
I have a big marker board. We used to play all the time, and my brother and I weren't allowed to be on the same team because it was just like I'd draw a circle and a dot and and he'd be like
tit.
Penis, or it would be something very
hamster wheel.
We were just very boom, boom, boom.
But that's when you make it fun by swapping the team. Like Taboo, if you swap the teams, then you really fuck.
Yeah. Well, you just got to be. It's the performance, man. It's all about the performance.
Yeah.
It's cool. We used to do a game night. We haven't done it, I think, since COVID.
Yeah, I think the last one got canceled. The one, I've actually never been able to come to one.
Oh yeah, that's right.
All right. Let me talk about what I'm continuing to watch The Boys. I continue to really enjoy it.
You didn't finish it?
I finished season 1. I'm moving on to season 2.
I wanted to mention
this is when you quit. Just like
yeah, that's true.
Kelly's never seen that, and I asked because you talking about it, maybe you want to watch it again.
Yeah.
So we're gonna watch it since the Olympics are over.
Are they over?
Yeah.
Really? That was fast.
It's 2 weeks. I mean,
that's all the Olympics last. I feel like it's all summer.
I didn't know.
No, it's 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks.
But it did because there's been like I had like a lot of people hit me up over the past week saying like this is the thing about like the conversation of good and bad and what shows you enjoy and what shows you don't enjoy and et cetera, that like obviously at the end of the day it's all subjective. People like whatever they like, they don't like whatever they don't like.
Yeah.
I do find it weird when people are hitting me up and they're like, I don't understand. And I'm like, but I'm giving you my reasons why I don't like something. Now you can agree or disagree with my reasons, but like I've had people hit me up that Revelations is trash. I'm like, okay, why? And they're like, just it's bad. Oh, like no, I heard that you don't like it.
Well,
I'm trying to know why. Yeah. You know, that's where I delineate things in terms of like the quality of or how much I value an opinion, even if I agree or disagree with it.
I think some people may mix up something is good or bad versus if they like it or not. Right. Because me and you are always like, I see why people like it. It's just not my thing.
I mean,
some people can't do that.
I think we had a great conversation at the beginning of the show last week about.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't trying to call you to the carpet on or anything, but just like from my point of view, that's how you relay that information.
I enjoy those like when it gets passionate. Like I'm good with it. Mm-hmm. I just don't. Sometimes I get worried that feelings get involved because I'm not
with me.
Like I'm just like let's have it out and then move on. And I even like
no, Bobby. Listen, as long as you don't make fun of my dioramas, we're good.
No, not even just make fun of. Don't even give them suggestions.
I don't want any smoke.
I finally
or paint.
I had to get rid of that white dry brush paint. Finally dried up, so we had to throw it away recently.
But I just like
my fucking lotion bottle.
The lotion. What kind of lotion are you buying?
Lots, man. Look at me.
Okay, that's fair.
I had a conversation with Dummy's conversation recently, and he took a picture. Robert took a picture of something in his office and sent it, and it was like the oddest assortment of things that you would expect to be in a madman's office, like a butter knife, an empty mustard bottle, and lotion, and Laura was like, "What's up with the lotion?" And like. He's like, well, you know, for this, or we start speculating on why, you know, and Robert's being quiet, and Robert's like, no one's going to say masturbation, really?
Nice.
But anyway, like, but I like getting into those conversations, and
that's why we start.
And I like digging into them. And I appreciate. I think listening back to it last week, I was thinking like one of the things with me, and like I said, I've been trying to be cognizant of, you know, when somebody attacks something I love, it doesn't mean that I have to attack something they love. Like, I don't need to go tit for tat. But, like, I remember it drew me back to another conversation that sparked with the Irishman.
Okay.
Right? Where to me, it was the film of the year. Like, the best film I saw all that year, by far. Second place, very far behind it.
Where was Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Dolittle? Was it in that conversation?
It didn't make the list. It didn't make the list. My kids watched it, hated it.
I had a conversation about that this weekend, and like I was the only one that
like that Eddie Murphy one. Yeah,
I was the only one that remembered that movie had even happened.
Yeah, I forgot.
Sorry, Irishman.
So I think it was The Irishman, but I want to say that your lead off. No, maybe it was 84. Maybe it was Wonder Woman 84. But like your leadoff statement with it was awful.
Okay, I like The Irishman, so it was probably
okay,
it was probably that.
Okay, so but that immediately puts me in a like I'm leaning back on my back leg now because I gotta watch what's coming, right? Because in a sense, like when you like something, like you're stamping your seal of approval on it. So when someone else is saying that your seal ain't worth a fuck, it is devaluing your opinion, right? In a sense.
Sure.
But like that's why I think I lean heavier into why. Why didn't you like it? And I'm also like Black Widow, right? Like I think Black Widow's an average film. And I listed off here's my reasons because I think that it's the Marvel formula again, and I think that it's tonally formulaic as well. I also think that it's a
pointless film.
That it's a good movie, but the timing is terrible.
That's a better way to put that.
I think that it's that I don't get enough of the kind of development of the villain, and I think that they didn't treat Taskmaster with any sort of real respect. Yeah. So these are my reasons, right? Now we can debate the reasons, but these are my reasons, but I have them.
Yes.
It's not like somebody that's like, no, this is bad. Why? Because I say so. Well, okay. And I'm not saying that that's what you said, but I'm just trying to give an example of where I get into like my lean into fight mode. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, but now I don't give a shit what your thoughts are on it. You know,
this is just subjective. What you don't like it, that's fine.
Correct,
but it doesn't have to be bad.
Correct,
just because you don't like it.
Correct. If you can't articulate why you don't like it, cool. But now your opinion means nothing to me, and I only say that because I've gotten a lot of kind of DMs after our conversation last week of I'm wrong.
You?
Yes.
Huh.
About
and MOTU and Masters is trash or Masters is bad.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, okay, just why? Just
Yeah.
why? So anyway, The Boys, still loving it. I'm gonna watch more tonight. I've been kind of busy, so I haven't had a chance to watch as much of it. I hope I don't fall into the second season curse.
Because it sounds like it. Though.
I know, but I'm very much into it. I'm gonna get to these last things. So I got back on Spotify.
Okay.
And I got back on Spotify because there was a...
didn't know that you had gotten off Spotify.
Yeah, so I left it after the podcast deal with Joe Budden. I was like,
Okay.
I'm out.
Were you a paid member of Spotify? Or
No,
you
but
just
I was using their ads and such.
Gotcha.
Pop Smoke has a complex 6-part podcast on there where they go through like his whole life. And so I wanted to listen to it. I'm back on. I listened to it.
That's surprising.
Yeah, I downloaded...
that you'd want to listen to something about Pop Smoke.
I downloaded something for so Tekashi 6ix9ine. Our conversation with Whack 100 and DJ Academics is supposed to be the moderator. Look,
That's a lot of words.
so it's Tekashi 6ix9ine, the snitch, Whack 100, certified gangster, and Academics, complete civilian, moderating the thing. He's like a vlogger type. It's awful. It's almost unlistenable. It's 3 fucking hours, and all you hear is people screaming over each other saying, wait a minute, or hold on. That's it. Wait a minute. Hold on. That's it. Just imagine that for 3 hours.
Did you get through the 3 hours?
Let's see, because I didn't. But I gave it everything I had. I'm trying to tell you, I gave it everything I had, Christopher. Let me see. I am at... fucking reset. Nope. I'm at 2 hours and 12 minutes.
Out of 3?
So,
It sounded like he was about to say, hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Okay. I'm going to circle back to rap here in a big way soon. But let's talk about... first of all, a listener, Patreon supporter... I'm not going to put his name out there, but had a loss, because I don't want to put his business out there, but had a loss in his family, had a grandmother that I think you can relate to, that I can relate to, like that relationship. And like, dude, just because I know those fucking vibes,
Yeah, man.
I was like, here's my phone number. Hit me up. And I'll tell you, like, I'm not going to be a good shoulder. I'm not the best shoulder, but
Well, shoulder is the best shoulder.
shoulders is 100% the best
Exactly.
shoulders. But I tell you what, them shoulders have gotten a little smaller as he's gotten a little older.
I mean,
But
that happens, bro.
That dude used to look like the fucking Kanye West video with the fucking suit on. But like, I'm not a great shoulder to cry on. I'm not like a comforter. But I am I either can crack a joke and try to get, you know what I mean, prevent people from cracking and sort of lift the moment up, or I can tell you my experience and hope that it's of some value, like to just know kind of what to expect, you know. But it was interesting, and I'll only bring it up, and not to put his business out there. I'll only bring it up because he has already started. Oh, let's see. Hello.
We've been trying to reach you concerning your car's extended warranty. You should have received something in the mail about your car's extended warranty. Since we have not gotten a response, we are giving you a final courtesy call before we close out your file.
Should I do Batman or Russian?
Press 1 to speak with someone about possibly extending or reinstating your car's warranty. Again...
Hi, this is Miguel at the Warranty Division. We're doing your scheduled warranty checkup today. Can you please verify the year, make, and model of your vehicle so I can pull up your file?
I have a 2004 Z-Mac.
2004?
Yes.
Okay, what's the make and model, I'm sorry?
I have a question. Is it possible I buy track suit from you? Adidas.
If you buy what?
Adidas track suit. 3 stripes.
I don't get it.
Adidas. They make the soccer shoes as well as cleats for your feet, for your how you say toe hands. You know, you familiar?
What can I get?
You wear them. You
No,
kick.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You have to know. You wear them to kick.
That was a good one, man.
All right.
I mean,
all right, I get the next one if that happens again.
Again, it's just like if you're that guy, you've worked that job, you know you're either scamming people or you're an idiot, right? Or you just need a job. So
yeah,
I don't feel bad because you know what you're getting into.
Yeah. Suicide Squad. We'll talk about that a bit.
The Suicide Squad.
This, Joe, is the epitome of what we talked about last week. A film that the skeleton of is fine, but the enjoyment level is through the roof.
Okay.
My face hurt from chuckling at this film when we got in the car.
It's fucking funny.
Nice.
And that's why I liked the idea of him taking the leash off. I didn't know it because I
haven't seen it.
I have a bad taste in my mouth, so to speak, from him in the dance routine. I'm never going to forget it. I'm never going to forget it because
I'm never going to dance again.
Guilty feet ain't got no rhythm.
It's easy to pretend.
But I really, really enjoyed it. I know that the overall story of it is all sorts of fine, but my enjoyment of it was through the roof, and this rarely happens.
Yeah. This is what we always talk about. Like, we enjoy.
The only time it usually happens with me is a comedy.
Yes,
like Ace Ventura is fucking dumb.
But dodgeball is fucking dumb.
Exactly, but that's usually the only time I give it a pass is in comedy, and I think this had enough comedy in it where even though
you can put it in a comedy,
correct,
it's like action comedy.
Correct.
It's the difference in. I mean, if you come to my house and we want to play basketball and the ball's flat, we can still shoot. But if it's got air in it, we can dribble and throw it at each other's noses and. That's
like
the difference to me.
Park.
One
Exactly.
of my favorite.
Oh, they had dodgeball, by the way. No, I'm kidding. They didn't.
One of my favorite things during it was the baby in the early part of the film said, "Why that weasel looks so crazy?" I wrote it down.
I'll tell you, the one thing I did not enjoy, and it's just me being cringy, is some of that shit with your kids in the room.
Oh, I know.
She said, "quote I love it when it rains. It's like angels are splooging on us."
So that one didn't bother me because I know they have no fucking clue what that means. But there was some stuff in there. Oh, when she was talking about fucking him, that beautiful monster between your legs. I was like, Christ.
It's rated R, so
yeah,
you can't be mad at it.
No, it's not. It's not the movie's fault. It's definitely my fault. I should have previewed. Yeah, I should have screened it. I usually do. I just wasn't thinking about it. It's like they love Harley. They like what I mean. I was just wrapped up in the moment of it and wasn't thinking. But I don't think it had any effect on them really. Right. But I will tell you, like we went out yesterday to like Leesburg for outlet shopping because it was like no taxes.
Yeah, it's no tax weekend. I think it's all week in Maryland actually.
So we were doing like getting shit for the kids, like back to school shit, like you do. First of all, fucking outlets crowded as fuck.
Hang on, is that the Clarksburg outlet?
No.
Where's the Leesburg?
Leesburg is in Virginia. You got to go down 15.
Oh, I know which one it is. Yeah.
So
you gotta wear a mask in. Well, maybe not in Virginia, but like we started having to wear masks in Maryland indoors.
Some places, it's not a state thing. It's
Montgomery County. You do.
It's a county by county.
Love it. It's great.
Yeah. So like, I think there was only one store that had mask requirements yesterday.
Oh, sidebar. Did I? Yeah, I went to IKEA this week. Was that? Yeah, Thursday I went to IKEA. Wow.
The meatballs.
Everybody. We ended up going to College Park. And
one.
Everybody had masks on, like almost everybody.
It's back.
It's great.
Yeah,
I love it.
I hate it.
IKEA, I didn't. Sorry,
I don't.
Could have bought it.
You got DTOF?
No, we got some other stuff though. That's like there might be a DTOF killer out there.
A DTOF killer? What, dude?
That
IKEA's got to be in a know with
All
how much DTOF they're selling because like through the last few years, their display options have been like steadily on the rise.
Yeah.
Like just like
emphasis
the different doors
on rise.
on.
Yeah, I mean, I have.
Like the Billy didn't used to have display case door options. Now they do.
Well,
multiple.
I'll
ones.
show you when you come over. It's something new they've got. It's pretty. I haven't seen anybody using it yet, so I'm excited to see.
And I forget where. I was coming back.
Leesburg.
Yeah, I was coming. Fuck, I forget where I was.
Your kids heard dirty words. You went to the outlet.
Oh, yeah. So after yes, that was the key.
That's where it was going.
After that, we went to like there's like a wine outlet place. It's not a wine outlet. There's one in like Maryland City. It's like a wine.
Is it Total Wine or something like that?
Yeah, or something like that, or wine supply, something like that.
It's a crazy amount of wine.
Yeah, crazy amount. So we went there, I was gonna run into Dick's real quick, so to speak, and
do you need some more tape?
Yeah. So I was gonna go in there, and Selena was like, "I'll go with you," and then Jane was like, "Go where?" And Selena was like, "I don't want to talk about it."
You know what's crazy? When you go to Dicks.com, it actually takes you to them.
Good.
I mean, I figured it would be Dick's Sporting Goods.
How'd you try that out?
Well, you see,
hey, yo. So anyway,
Frankenfurter.
Did you guys see that video I fucking sent with the guy in the chat with
this morning?
Yeah. Did you see it?
I have not. I was on my way to work,
dude. Hold on, I got
it at like fucking 5:30 to goddamn get down.
I gotta show it to you.
Chevy Chase.
And I know.
Nobody cares what time you got up.
I know.
No, because he was already up.
I know.
For no reason.
I know. As I said here, I know I'm a fucking child. Okay.
No!
All right, ready? Let me turn this down a little bit. You see, he's eating a hot dog.
Hey, yo! Hey!
This dude is eating a hot dog, and somebody hits
hits
him mid-bite with the Ayo. He spits what he has of the hot dog out, and then throws what's left of it at the guy. So anyway, back to Suicide Squad. Once again, I think great casting. Mm-hmm. Lots of good jokes. I laughed throughout. I do think that it drags a bit between the second and third act.
It definitely does. That whole...
and they didn't need it.
They didn't need it.
It's like they
lost their pacing. Right at one spot, like when they're having a little bonding moment.
Yes. Let me tell you what it is. This is what drops it down 2 whole points for me, because it's the only real issue I have.
Many points?
Yeah, because it really drags. It's all right. So you're gonna go in. You're gonna do a full body workout today. You're going hard. This is for the Twitch and the streams, and for you, and for a weigh-in day is coming, and you're going to Arnold Fest the day after. Like, this is your big moment, right? And you're doing it for 4 hours. Let's say that you're doing it for 2 hours, and in the midst of that 2 hours, you spend 20 minutes on your elbows. That's what it felt like. It's like you didn't need to. You didn't need to. There's nothing to work out with your elbows. They're fine. Continue on. That's how that part dragging felt to me.
Wow. I wonder why they had that.
It just, I don't know. I think that there was like they were trying to give it more meat on the bone, so to speak, but it didn't need it. They should have just leaned heavier into the kind of nonsensical element of it, because that's what kind of drives it.
And I think. So they do this in wrestling, right? If you have, I'm serious. If you have 2 main event matches, right? Mm-hmm. They put one in the middle. They call it the cooler. Because if you're laughing your ass off for 30 minutes straight, you need a break. I mean, like physically, maybe mentally. And I know that's why they're doing it. I just think that was an ill-timed place to do it. And the content, you're right, was just drivel. It didn't accomplish anything.
It was noticeable, obviously, because both of you, like, you know exactly what it is.
Yeah, I knew. That was like, and I watching it, I was like, man, I have a feeling we're going to get back to where we were at the beginning from the intensity level. But I think I think it's a pacing thing where they want you to,
because it hits the ground running.
Oh my God, literally.
And like around the hour and 15-minute mark to like the hour and 40-minute mark, there's just like this little bit in the middle that just like,
that's a long time too.
Yeah, and I'm guesstimating after everything, yeah. But it just
felt like a while.
It just dips. But favorite character from it. Oh, I want to say one thing while you're thinking about that. Mm-hmm. I hate that Harley was in the dress for most of the movie, because I really liked her outfit that she started off with, like the pants and vest, like, because it's like, it kind of felt like classic Harley, but it also kind of felt like Suicide Squad Harley from the books. It was kind of Injustice Harley mixed in. Like, it was a good look for her, but she ends up spending most of the movie in this red dress, which is fine, but it doesn't scream Harley in the same way.
Bobby, we should get 2 action figures now.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right about that.
Too hot to
I enjoyed John Cena's role. I thought he did.
That's a low bias.
I thought he did great. There's like that scene at the beginning where they're killing all those villagers and that guy's sleeping and he just walks by and hatchet chops him like he's a fucking flank steak.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I enjoyed it. I mean, I like Idris Elba's character. I thought was well done.
The guy's arms getting shot was too funny to me. I couldn't. This guy, his arms disconnect from his body, right? and they're running, and the arms like go out and like are punching people and hitting people, choking people.
And is it a ball joint? Did you see it?
Yeah, it looks like a ball joint.
Did you see a butterfly hinge?
It almost looks like one of the pegs. That are, like,
yeah, exactly. They did that on purpose.
And they're like doing all the stuff, right? But then like they get the drop on them, they start shooting the arms, and the guy's like in the background, like not getting shot, but like acting like I couldn't get a grip on myself. My favorite character is Polka Dot.
Polka Dot's pretty badass,
and he's interesting, and he's like his like dynamics are kind of interesting. Like the kind of shit he has to live with is interesting. The way he sees the world is interesting without too much spoilers.
Spoiling. That's probably the funniest bit.
Yeah, that was
especially the end one.
The end one. Yep.
The Weasel.
He's great.
It was great.
He's great.
And yeah, I won't. I'll leave a little there for you, Joe, without ruining stuff.
I'm anxious to see what you think because I feel like the tone of it is more up your alley.
I mean, it sounds like
it's definitely.
I was actually thinking that while I was watching it. I was like, Joe might actually really like this.
I mean, I enjoyed like at least half of the first one, I guess.
Oh, did you?
Like overall, I didn't, and there was
I didn't either.
Like
I like some scenes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there were like, there was enjoyable parts.
Yeah.
Did you know that Calendar Man's in it?
Yeah, with his shit around his head, I saw him. Yep.
Yeah, that's James Gunn's brother. He was one of the Reavers in the first movie, and he did the mocap for the. I knew he was doing the mocap for the Weasel,
the raccoon,
and he does it for the Weasel in this new movie.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
he's the new Andy Serkis.
Exactly.
I don't want to waste too much time on this. And I did Bobby Boogie Bop for September, and so I've been doing a lot of research on Jay-Z because that's who we're doing it on. That fucking
only
shit.
one part. I was assuming we'd be doing it like 3 months worth of his shit.
It's 3 hours and 45 minutes.
Do you talk about the S. Carter Reebok sneaker line?
No, but we play stuff off the mixtape, the S. Carter mixtape. That was to promote the sneaker.
I didn't even know that existed.
Yep. But anyway, so I was doing a bit of that. Now, this next bit I just had to bring up because it's a fact for me. As a 40-year fan of, let's say 37, 37-year-old fan of hip-hop music, I feel like I saw the two greatest things in hip-hop this past week.
Okay.
One that's easier to talk about is this Lox vs. Dipset versus show. Has it hit your radar at all? So
yeah, I saw the Milli Vanilli memes.
Yeah, so so look, I'm a Dipset fan. They're my favorite rap group of all time. The Lox crushed them. And they didn't crush them on songs. They crushed them on performance. The Lox showed up with fucking war paint on, and Dipset literally showed up with beach chairs. Literally.
Can I tell you that I can name Jadakiss? Don't answer me. I can't name the other guy in the Lox, but I think I can name everybody in Dipset.
Really?
Jim Jones, Jewels, Cameron, and there's probably some other
dude. A fourth guy, but he's just a hype man.
Twan or
Freaky Zeke.
Okay,
but he's just a hype man. He doesn't have any vocals.
So okay, and the Lox is. Hang on, let me try. It's Jada, Chic.
You named the odd one second, like the one that most people forget about.
Who's the other one I'm missing?
Styles.
Fuck, Styles P. Okay, it's just not front of mind to me.
Yeah,
because I think Dipset, the Diplomats, was more culturally relevant.
For sure.
Now, if Biggie hadn't died,
who knows?
It'd have been different.
Yeah,
but.
So I'm not going to talk too much about it because I know it's not everybody's thing, but it was a huge part of my week.
I've never watched any of those.
The Versus. So for those that don't know, Versus is a thing where two artists get together.
Is it on YouTube?
No, it's like on their website now. It used to be on IG Live and a whole bunch of stuff. Apple Music used to carry it. But two artists come out and they just play songs back and forth. It's kind of turned into them performing back and forth now instead of just playing songs. But it's usually more of a like it's one of the like corny like the who won? The fans are who won, and that type of thing. But it's more usually of a celebration of two artists with a huge catalog. And like not Tony Brett, like Babyface has done it. Teddy Riley has done it. Like
I'm trying to think of like.
Monica and Brandy did one. Like
that's the iconic.
Yeah.
Who did Fab do it with?
Jada.
Okay. That was probably the first time it showed up on my radar.
So I'm just gonna say this. They called them out. Let's get ready to rumble. That guy. That guy,
Michael Buffer, calls him out?
Yes.
Wow.
So the first group he called out were the Locks. They came out in unison, like almost militantly. They came focused. They came immediately. They came right to the stage. They put their back immediately to the audience and put their eyes right on the door for the next group to come in. Like, we're ready. Then he calls out Dipset, the Michael Buffer.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Calls him out again. Nothing. The crowd starts getting a little anxious. Jadakiss starts yelling, "Bring them motherfuckers out here!" And I was like, "Oh God, they came prepared." There's not an ounce of fear in their heart whatsoever. Dipset ends up coming out late, like in a very kind of like diva-esque manner. And I think that they thought that their clout and all that kind of stuff was going to carry them. So they came like it's like a tortoise in the hare kind of a thing. And the tortoise fucking smashed them to pieces. And it was embarrassing almost to watch. And like, so not only did that get off on that foot where I was like, oh, just the temperature just changed. Did everybody feel it? But also in the very beginning, you know, the Locks are from Yonkers, which is like north of the Bronx. It's like it's close to the Bronx, but it's not part of the.
It's also real close to Connecticut.
Okay, so that's
I have to go to Yonkers for work.
So that's where the Yonkers is. It's not part of New York City proper. Dipset is from Harlem, Manhattan, the fucking New York City. This thing is taking place at Madison Square Garden. They start going to flip the coin to see who goes first, and Dipset's like, "We're home here. You're not from here. We're home here. You go first." And Jadakiss yells, "You live in Miami!" And I was like, "Oh no!" It's like imagine a path and there's like potholes all in the path. Dipset stepped into every single one. They couldn't avoid one that was set up for them. And then Jadakiss was like, "You know what? Fuck it. I don't care. Put it on." And they went first. And they just seemed like the bigger, but they came like a well-oiled machine, and Dipset was a mess, and they smashed them.
What songs did the Locks play or perform? Because I mean, be honest,
Money, Power, Respect. Yeah. They played 24 Hours to Live. Okay. They played I Get High.
So they did they do
solo stuff
yep,
too? They played all about the Benjamins.
There you go.
I mean, they got some big records.
So they do, but I don't consider a lot of those to be Locks records.
So the rules are you can play whatever you're featured on. You can play
as long as you're featured.
Even if you wrote it. If you wrote it for somebody else and they performed it, you can play
that would be the Stone Cold diss if one of the Locks had written something for
Dipset.
They're like, "I'm going to perform so-and-so. It's the 7th track off Cameron's 3rd album. And I wrote that motherfucker."
So in the end, I was happy.
It becomes a duet.
Because by the end of the show, their entourages start coming on stage.
Oh, it's getting crowded.
It's getting a little. It starts feeling like there's tension in the room, but there wasn't. And everybody stayed cool. It was peaceful. It was from like my era, like really people that are really good at their craft, doing what they do. It was a beautiful thing to see.
Baggy jeans and Timbs.
Well, Timbs were there. There people were making jokes that the trophy for this one is just going to be a gold Timberland.
Timberland lead boot, yeah.
The other thing that I need to talk about, just because, is this fucking Donda.
Who? Or
Donda, I guess I should say. Kanye West's mother. It's also the name of his upcoming album.
Okay.
So the rumor was that the album was supposed to come out last Friday. So I checked Apple Music to see if it was up for like pre-order, and it wasn't. But instead, what was there was like a screen that said "Show will start soon."
Okay.
And I was like, okay. So didn't think much of it. We went upstairs to go to bed, and I couldn't get this fucking thing out of my head. So I was like, I can't go to sleep right now. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. And she was like, okay. See ya. So I left the bedroom, came downstairs, I started working on some stuff, and I just put my phone in the corner and just kept my eye on it. And all of a sudden it changed. He performed is a weird way to say it.
Where was this at? It was on Apple Music?
Yes, it was on Apple Music. It was at Falcon Stadium or whatever, the place he's been at for like 2 weeks now. He's been like living in the locker room.
So in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I have a follow-up story on this, but go ahead.
It's a performance in the sense of like modern art. It's not like he's singing the songs. He's in the middle of this stadium. He's wearing this black outfit. A jacket has spikes all over it. Underneath, he has a bulletproof vest on with where it would say police. It says his mother's name.
Okay.
And there's a mattress sitting in the middle of the floor with stuff sort of tossed about on the mattress. And a spotlight down on him in the center of the stage, in the center of the arena, and the arena is completely sold out. It's packed.
Oh, it's not him.
Nope.
I was imagining this as him by himself.
Now, if this is the mattress, there's a ring of people about 10 to 50 feet out from the center walking, and they're probably 3 people wide deep. Do you know what I mean? Like 3 people walking side by side in a ring. And they're walking in counterclockwise around his bed. And then beyond that, about 100 feet out, is another ring of people about 3 deep walking clockwise around his bed. So it's like these 2 rings walking in counter, to one another around his bed. And sometimes he's sitting on the bed. They just play the record from start to finish. Sometimes he's sitting on the bed. Sometimes he walks around the bed. Sometimes he starts dancing. Sometimes he'll lay down. He took his jacket off at one point, put the jacket back on. And at the end of it, he hooks himself up to these things, and this thing just takes him out of the fucking center of the fucking it's like. Here's the thing about it.
Performance art.
Yes, I don't know what it was, but I know it was something. And when I was watching it. And you have to keep, the music is obviously the big part of it, and then you're seeing these visuals kind of go on with it in this sort of format that you've never seen before. I had an emotional response at a couple of moments during it, and I don't even know if I liked the music, but something was resonating for me on some sort of almost primal level while I was watching him. And I just had to mention that I saw it and that I don't know what it was, but I've never seen anything like it, and I know somehow it felt important. I don't know how to say it. Just like Tenet, I know it's good, but I don't know. I didn't understand it. Same thing.
So I have an add-on. I have I'm friends with him on Facebook. Guy from back home. My age. He's a lawyer. He's like a Kiss fan. That style of music, like hair metal, whatever. His kid is, 16, 17, and wanted to go to this Kanye concert in Atlanta, a 4-hour drive, so they went. And here's some notes that he took from this event. Kanye's a brilliant marketing genius. Gene Simmons had been envious of what that man was able to achieve with last night's setting in Atlanta. Uncountable amounts of money were grossed on merch alone, let alone the estimated 30,000 people that paid anywhere from 50 to 100 to no telling on the aftermarket. He says, Kanye's fan base is very diverse in race and gender. There were many more Caucasian fans than I would have thought. Probably 65, 70%, and many more male fans. Admittedly, I'm not a Kanye guy, so I didn't really have anything to base that on, but I always assumed he was more of a female fan base type of person. I don't know why he thought that.
Yeah.
And this probably speaks mostly to what you were feeling. Like many artists, and Kanye is an artist, even if you hate his music and everything about him, he has very passionate fans. I've been to concerts more in line with my tastes where the band was actually performing bona fide hits with a fan base energy level much lower than many of Kanye's fans simply listening to an album they've never heard played over on loudspeakers.
And that's what I'm talking about.
And then he talks about that you need to scale. He changed his mind on legalizing marijuana because apparently the whole place reeked. And the fact that he's an old guy and did a 13-hour trip.
Yeah, but it was something.
I don't know. Kanye is such a polarizing figure, anyways. Yeah. Like, I like some of his music, but like his catalog, he's done some. I mean, in my opinion, some very strange fucking things.
Mm-hmm.
And
artist, right?
I'm not a Kanye. I like his sneakers. Probably like his sneakers better than I like him personally. I mean, he's got some bona fide hits from over the years.
Oh my god!
Especially the early shit.
I mean,
first
even
2 albums.
my dark twisted fantasy, whatever that was, which was not but it's probably there's an argument to be made. It's the best album of 2010s. Like, if someone were to say that, that's not an easy thing to dispute. Like, the dude, and I have mixed feelings on him too, but I do know that he's an artist. Mm-hmm. And I know that he is passionate about what he's doing and that it's always sincere to him. It's never...
He's never fake.
Yes, even if he's overshooting what he's doing and it ends up coming across pretentious, it's to him, it's right where it needs to be.
I think some of the best music ever created was created for the person that wrote it.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with... Yeah, it's a huge mega hit song. You know, it's the passion behind a project.
Yeah. So, that's it. Now, the one thing I want to talk about before we get too heavy into the notes is... Offspring, since we're on a music conversation. I want to put this out there. Not a fan.
Pretty fly for a white guy.
I'm not a fan. I the first single that they had,
you gotta keep them separated.
Yeah, like
my friend's got a girlfriend and he hates that bitch.
You got to keep them separated, right? It was
I like them.
I could listen to that song if it was on. It wouldn't annoy me. Any other song I've ever heard from them ever, I've always been like in my mind, I'm screaming. I'm a polite guest, but in my mind, I'm screaming, "Turn that shit off!" Like an old man.
It's very. It ties back into your Woodstock documentary. It's very angry white guy music.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's also like I like angrier.
It's angry pop music. I mean,
yes,
they had some good hits.
It's also kind of lighthearted and kind of jokey and
you see the music videos.
So it's just not my bag. Reason why I bring them up: they kicked their drummer out of the band for not being vaccinated. Thoughts on that?
I
didn't know they were still making music.
Well, I'm sure. I'm not sure
they're touring.
I'm not sure if they're still making music. They could be.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not sure, but they're going to tour forever.
There's a huge amount of 90s artists that are making a fortune right now touring because for nostalgia purposes.
I mean, I don't see anything wrong with them kicking them, or at least not performing them. If you don't get the vaccine.
I don't know, man.
Here's the thing. How many conversations were had about this before this news, bro? I mean,
yeah.
It isn't there like, hey, Joe, listen, just get the fuck out because we're not going to. I guarantee you it was a lot more conversation. And I read a little bit about this. The guy's he's got some, I can't think of what he's got some sort of autoimmune issue. And there's something about, I mean, he's not just like, oh, I'm not going to take it because
anti-vax.
Yeah, it's not like that, but I mean, it's a business decision at the end of the day, right?
Tell me more.
So if everyone else, if you're everyone else in the band and the support staff has all been vaccinated, and that one person hasn't, then I mean, by most policies, everybody else has to wear a mask, right? Because that one unvaccinated person.
Like on I don't know what are you saying because of the rules of the venue?
Possibly.
Okay.
And that's the thing. I mean, there's so many variables there because you're traveling.
Well,
you're going to be in different.
Not changes how you're supposed to deal with things personally.
In the logistics, like, well, he's got to have a COVID test before we can let him in because he hadn't been vaccinated.
Or anytime you travel anywhere.
And oh shit, okay, well, it's not positive, it's not negative, but you got to stay in your hotel room for 2 weeks. Fuck! I'm glad we brought Jimmy John to play drums.
Subs?
Yeah. They use the old bread as the drumsticks.
Because I'm vaccinated. You're vaccinated.
Yeah.
You're vaccinated. But I have friends of mine that are not.
I mean, there are places that are firing people for, or like not letting people come to work for not being vaccinated.
There are places that are firing people.
Yeah.
Or they're making it so.
If you're just looking at it as a job, he got fired from his job because he's.
But I'm not sure how I feel. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Let me, for instance, right? I have friends of mine that are not vaccinated. I have some that are not vaccinated because they're just like, I don't trust it. It's not enough out there about it. I have antibodies because I had it, and I'm good. I'm good with my stance on it.
Okay.
I know people that are anti-vax because they're anti-vaxxers because it's it's the big government takeover. I have those folks too in my circle of people that I know. And this is not a flex.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people. My workforce very large. And let alone my social circles, and you know what I mean. Like I just interact with a lot of people. So I know those types too. I know military people that are like, dude, I got stuck with so many things. I'm 100% sure that I can't fucking get anything. Like people that are like, I haven't had a cold since I walked through a line and had 30 people stab me with a fucking needle for everything under the sun. I don't know what the fuck is in me anymore, but I feel like I'm okay. And then I have people that are just like still on the fence about it. So I got it because I felt like me personally, and I think it is a personal decision, that it was the responsible choice for me. I weighed pros and cons, dealing with my profession, dealing with my social life, and I thought it was the responsible choice for me.
That's the same decision I came to.
Okay. Now, I'm not comfortable having Jaina vaccinated, and only because there have been other vaccinations throughout the course of history that have had some side effects to them that are significant.
Yes.
And because we just don't know, and because this shit doesn't seem to be killing kids in any sort of real significant way,
Yeah.
I'm willing to throw the dice on her for a little bit longer because I don't want, as Laura brought up the other night, like, what if there's some shit that we don't know for another 10 years or so, but it affects fucking babies being born and shit. Like, I don't want that as an even possibility out there. And because she's not really in the risk category, I'm willing to throw the dice on
That risk category is changing with this new variant.
It is. The Delta variant is more dangerous. However, even the amount of kids that is taken off the planet, very slim to none. They're just developing more symptoms than they used to, which used to pretty much be none.
Yeah.
So it's like, now if kids were in super danger and it was like, fuck, they might die this way or they might have a kid with 3 ears. All right, looks like you're going to have 3-eared kids. But the good news is there's going to be a lot of 3-eared kids coming up. And you know what I mean? So they're not, you know what I mean? But we're not really in that bag. So once again, I'm weighing the pros and cons. I'm trying to make a decision of what I feel is the best and most responsible choice for people that I'm ultimately, I'm responsible for their health, safety, and wellness.
Yeah.
Right? So when I hear about people getting fired for stuff, it's like, to me that does, I mean, a job has they can do whatever they want. They're the ones in control. But I do feel
certain
like
jobs, I mean, like in the health professional, you have to get the flu shots. You'll get fired for not even getting the flu shot every year.
Right. But Joe, the difference with this one is, I'm not sure if you've heard, it's unprecedented. So anyway, something about it, I haven't completely formed my thoughts around it yet, but something about it stings me. And I don't know where I'm at on the listing out the pros and cons for it yet. But something about it in my soul doesn't sit right.
Yeah, especially if he has stipulations of why he's like proper reasoning why he's not getting it.
Right.
If he's like concerned about his health because he's autoimmune disease or whatever, then like it makes sense that he would be worried about it.
Right. So, with that, we can move on to the regular news. But I figured because it was in music and Phil did include it, and I thought it was an interesting thing to think about and discuss.
Yeah.
So, why the Last Man trailer? Have we seen it?
No.
Me neither. So let's watch.
All
right. Before we get into this, why the Last Man? I wanted to say this person that I know he's a great guy, and he's a fucking Purple Heart hero. Like the whole bit, like real deal and a good fucking dude. And I love him dearly. But I called his wife, told him to cancel his internet. Because he was like, dude, I think the Delta variant is just the vaccine. So when they gave you the vaccine, they infected you with the Delta variant and you spread it to other people. And that's how the Delta variant came in. And I was like, then why didn't it come when they started doing the 1A people? Because theoretically, they would have given it to all the 1B people and 2A and all that.
They just did it in like the third round of doses.
And I was like, and why would they want to do that? He's like, government control. And I'm like,
of what?
And I'm like, look,
they're already controlling us.
And I was like, I understand that you think that or you perhaps are under some conception that the government are these people that are sitting in dark rooms with rich mahogany wood steepling their fingers and controlling but they can't control shit. They couldn't control anything on January 6th. They couldn't control Portland like all last year. And let me tell you something. You only need like a really good granola bar to control Portland for a fucking year. And they couldn't fucking even do that. So don't tell me that, but like that's how crazy some of this shit gets. Anyway, Why the Last Man was a comic. I believe it was under the Vertigo flag. I'm not 100% sure.
I think so.
I did find it odd that it looks like it's an FX property, which is Disney.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's not Vertigo.
If only there was a box.
If only.
I'm on it.
But basically, in an instant, everybody with a Y chromosome, not everybody, everything on the planet with a Y chromosome dies.
Okay.
So it's animals and stuff too?
Yep.
Okay.
With the exception of our lead character.
Okay.
And his monkey.
Love it.
And you find out why eventually.
Yeah, it was a Vertigo book.
Yes, that is weird, man. That is weird. You find out why eventually, so to speak. You also find out how come, we'll say.
So you've read a good bit of this?
I read them all. Yeah, it's great.
How much semen does this man produce? That was the first thing that came to mind. I was like, they're gonna pump him dry.
Yeah. So it's interesting because like there's there's like basically it takes us back to some weird era because half the population has died and half the animals. Yeah, and a whole bunch of shit. That
I do want to mention
just the dudes.
Yeah. I do want to mention in the trailer, it's complete chaos, and maybe it's just me looking at it through a crooked lens, but it seems like they're painting it as, oh my God, there's no men. What are we going to do? And it's, oh my God, half the population's gone. What are we going to do?
Right. But like there are questions like, what do we do about reproduction? There are women that are chasing him. There's women that want to kill him because they feel like he's a threat to like this now new utopian society. You find out why it happened. Yeah, you find out how come it happened.
That's not any better. That's somehow worse.
But I'm going to give I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm going to say something, and if you watch it, I'm going to try to watch it. I don't know if it's the network.
It's on Hulu, it looks like.
Okay. I'm going to, of course, I don't have that one, but
you should if you have Disney Plus.
No, there's different bundles.
Okay, I have Hulu.
So anyway, I'm going to try to watch it. I want to watch it. I love the book. One thing that irritates me about the trailer is in the book, the dude's like a dork. Like he's like a nerdy dork.
He looks pretty nerdy.
Did he? I see. To me, a 5 o'clock shadow with my long hair and my to me,
it looks like a homeless guy with a monkey to me.
Yeah.
He looks way cooler than he does in the book.
Okay.
He looks like a fucking like almost like pocket protector level. Like you know what I mean? Like
he read to me as
wasn't he on a fucking motorcycle?
Should they have had DJ Qualls play? You know who DJ Qualls is? Ever seen the movie Road Trip?
Yeah,
the super skinny kid.
So
he's in Avatar, I think. Also,
he just looks like a clean cut. Like the 5 o'clock shadow and the long hair is wrong for him.
Okay,
character wise.
Well, maybe they take care of that.
Now, eventually, he grows long hair because he can't. Who wants to have a woman cut their hair? I'm kidding. But I am going to tell you. I mean, I missed the barbershop experience from when I had hair. But if I would have walked into a barbershop and knew it would have been women in there, I'd have fucking done it.
Can't you just go to the barbershop and they'll like straight razor your head for you?
You can. I've never done it. I should. I haven't either. I should. I guess because a bic is fucking free.
But you missed the experience. You pay for the experience.
I know. I should. But there's rules about straight razors. Like not every place can use a straight razor. I think they just became legal in Maryland like within the last couple years. Because there's laws about them. It used to be that people used to go out of town to get a straight razor, or they knew somebody that did it under the table. Huh. And I only know that because I had a buddy of mine that like went to barber school, and I was asking him about it. Neither here nor there, and so he could be wrong. Let me put that out there too. He could be wrong, but that's what I was told by him when he was at school.
For the record, I'd say 90% of my haircuts it was performed by a woman.
Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah. No.
Not Bobby.
No, not me. And some of the best chefs in the world are men. I'm just that's my grandma used to say that shit. Okay. So he doesn't seem, the character mold doesn't seem right.
Okay.
Just from having the background and fan of the book.
But at the same time, I don't know that.
Correct. Which is fine, and it's not a big deal if he does a great job. He does a great job. Who gives a shit? But like, I'm gonna say this, and I just want you to remember it. Sometimes like there'll be researchers that are or zoologists or whatever, and they're like looking. The zoologist just brought another thing I need to talk about, but they'll be like looking at chimpanzees in the Congo, and at the same time, a group is looking gorilla. My dad used to do it to me all the time after we watched that movie, pointing his fingers at your temple. So there'll also be like a team of researchers following chimpanzees in the Amazon. Mm-hmm. Okay, and both of them are having pretty similar findings in terms of their behavior and everything. And let's say they're watching them for 3 months, and all of a sudden, at the third day of the third week, these chimpanzees in the Congo figure out that you can use the shell of a melon to hold water to drink out of. Mm-hmm. The same fucking thing will be happening in the fucking Amazon. It's like this weird thing where like it's been like documented that like some creatures are like all changing at the same time in terms of what they're kind of cognitively able to conceptualize, and more so. I just want to put that out there. Remember that, and we'll get back to it after the show. There was also something that Phil put in there about this Guardians thing, but I'm skipping it because I can't make any sense of it. So with that, we'll just move straight on to questions.
Oh, that's it? No.
Yeah, just one quick little note in that little Offspring conversation. All right. So from Ibuka, In our question, Harry.
The Texas fucking KKK guy. No, he's not the KKK.
Yeah, don't do that. Animator. Let's say the Texas animator. Howdy, Power Rangers. A short question today. Has there been any hobbies you tried that was wildly different than what you normally do? For example, I recently started doing some pottery and put in a eucalyptus to start with.
Huh.
Eucalyptus dick. That's what he said.
Did he put that in there? Yeah. That's a good one.
Got him. But yeah, anything that comes to mind for anyone, and how did it go? I said, sorry for the many months of bad grammar and typos. My days in English class were spent counting how many black dots were on the ceiling tiles and learning how to conjugate verbs or rather than. No, don't worry about it. Nobody sweat you for that shit.
Yeah, I'm foreign too. It's fine.
Yeah. I think that at the time, probably when I got into 40K, that was like a wildly different hobby for me. Modeling, I never modeled ever. I never painted ever. So when I got into that, that was something new. And I mean, it went fine. I was into it for fucking years and years and years. Other than that, I don't think maybe I would say that even dioramas, I have a little bit of base knowledge because of the 40K time. And
I mean, and even the 40K stuff, you were drawing and shit before that, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not off the wall.
Yeah, not crazy.
Not like you just started yoga.
Right. That's fair. That's a good point.
When I started making dioramas, I had, not drawn anything for purpose other than just, bored on a conference call doodling in the margins kind of shit.
But you did build stuff with your father in the shop?
Yeah, but that was none of that skill set translated. That was welding more than anything. I haven't had to use welding in dioramas yet.
Wait.
But I know how to stack some dimes. So.
I guess I could say that, when I started mopping, I got really into mopping. And I'm still into it. Where I'll see what's going on with the latest, stick techniques, so to speak, the broomstick techniques or whatever. I'm interested in it, which is vastly different from anything else in my previous walk of life. So maybe that would probably be a better answer then.
I mean, for me, it's not that I am a content creator, but in content creation, just podcasting.
Yeah.
And then being on Twitch.
I'd
That's completely
say for
out of the fucking wheelhouse of
Yeah.
anything I would ever imagine doing, because I'm an antisocial person.
Right.
Right. I'd say for you,
I'm not a performer.
I'd say the Twitch, from my point of view, for you is so outside because you are literally physically performing for people.
Yeah.
This is we're
a stepping
performing
stone from this,
right? But honestly, if you hadn't been involved with this, I don't think you would have had the confidence to do the Twitch.
Yeah.
So
I'd never imagined doing a podcast in the first place. I was graciously invited onto here and stuck around.
I think that's probably a good example.
You don't think YouTube was more of a jump?
He still doesn't understand.
I still don't know how it works.
As a content creator, but that seems to be more different.
So yes, it is. However,
but you've been doing music and shit.
Yes,
you have done.
So there's that, but there's also
you've had the buddy booth experience.
Yes. Well, I never had that, but yes. But I have
you're never alone in the buddy booth.
Build it.
I'm also the guy that whatever I'm doing on YouTube, I've done in front of a circle of friends or whatever, so to speak.
Explain to them how to transform stuff and being real frustrated and the windows fall up. I was watching the Galvatron thing. And you just laugh.
Yeah. Well, just giving my opinion in an entertaining way.
Okay. Yes. Town story.
Yeah, exactly. So that is natural to me. The editing and all the computer shit and all that was way outside of my wheelhouse. I mean, I don't even know if I had an email. You know what I mean? I was off. I wasn't on that shit at all.
You had to sign on to email to get a YouTube account.
Yeah, I did. I had to get it. I started when I started the drawing shit. So that's when but all of that was brand new to me. And I had an email account.
What was your AOL handle?
My AOL was Joey Zaza, NUO at AOL.com. It might still work.
Wow.
But and it was just because I liked him in The Godfather, in Godfather 3. Joey Zaza. Anyway, but like I had like one for school, but I never used it. I never logged in. I never had to. I was just like people are like, do you have an email account? I'm like, yeah, but I don't know I couldn't tell you what it is. Probably it's my last name, Skullface at, communitycollege.com. I don't know. dot org.
Wow, I didn't realize you were...
EDU, sir.
Yeah, I was.
Well, kudos to you for growing into the tech-ish savvy person.
Tech-ish savvy would be a better way to put it.
Tech adjacent.
Yes.
Mainly because someone else knows how to do it and you're near them.
Yes. All right, so, and then KFC wrote in, what's up, guys? Quick question for all of you. Top 5 Fast and the Furious moments, go. Single question for Joe. Okay, we'll get there in a minute. So I've only seen the first one.
I don't remember it.
And I don't remember it.
Yeah, same.
Okay. Tuna with crust.
Okay.
When he lets Dom go.
Okay.
When Han gets killed.
That's Force Awakens.
8, yeah.
Force
7.
Awakens.
Yeah.
Huh?
When Han gets killed is episode 7. That's like...
I'm sorry,
different.
what?
When Han gets killed, that's episode 7.
When Kylo Ren killed him,
It is.
he stabbed him.
But there's also a character who's Asian.
Wait, is it?
He tried to tie you into it.
When they drive, I'm trying to answer the question.
You're gonna love
guys. When they drive the Bugatti between the two buildings in Qatar.
Did he wake up in a new Bugatti?
Mm-hmm. He did. Yeah. Ace Hood was actually in the.
Nice pick up, Christopher.
And you might laugh when the Rock, the first time the
It's
Rock,
already great.
when he's chasing them through the, forgive me, I think it's called the favelas, and it's those stacked up shanties they build in
like Brazil.
Yeah, they're in Brazil and they're chasing them. That's just a freaking awesome scene. That'd be my top 5 without getting sappy or sad about it.
Yeah.
Tuna no crust.
Yeah, that's all I got. I could probably do better with soundtrack.
Hey, listen, KFC. They're not into the lore like you and I.
But it's a long story for sure. It's a long story.
Lore.
It's a story. Single question for Joe. Based on last week's statement, I'd like to think of you as an open guy, so to speak.
Oh yeah.
I'm curious how did your first attendance at Slammiversary come to be? I think that's about round pegs and square holes, kind of a.
Oh.
Slammiversary is also a pro wrestling event.
I
don't think they're related. I kind of hope they're not.
I think they became related in last week's episode when those jokes started.
Yeah.
I mean, I was always into wild stuff sexually. Like always, like what was considered fetish back then, that's considered normal now. So like.
Stepping on turtles.
When I had a girlfriend who was very open to trying things, that's when I got my ass ate, right, for the first time, and I was like, "Oh, this is good," and then I moved on from there. I was like, "Stick a finger in there," and then it's like, "Why don't you get a strap on and try that shit out?"
It's a bold.
I mean, it's just like a natural progression. It wasn't out of the blue.
Yeah,
it was like, let's go to a sex shop and get this and. Try it out.
Give her a ride.
Yep.
Get her done.
Love it.
So, Passive Bear on Twitter asked, "So, gents, who's spending $6,000 for a family of 4 at the new Star Wars hotel experience, or the bargain $4,800 for just 2?" I won't be. I'll be staying at probably I don't know, what's that one? If you guys know Disney, like the Stars.
Oh, All Stars.
Yeah, it's like the cheap one where you take the kids. They got like a big Mickey in the center of it. It's
the
like,
giant swimming pool.
Other than it's just pretty much a project.
I would honestly I think if I didn't have if the kid, my kids, I don't know what even enjoy Disney at this point, and I'm definitely not going to pay for them to go through because they wouldn't give a shit about that. I think Kelly and I would enjoy it, and honestly, that price is not for what you get, fully inclusive for however many days and you trip to the park. Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, anybody who's priced out Disney,
it's a lot. Period.
It's a lot. Period.
Yeah, like I think that
I want reviews on what this immersive experience is like.
Yeah,
if
me
it's
too.
legit, like, all right, you're going to work on this deck and that, you know.
I mean, truthfully, if you could rewind the clock back once again, and this was like the Rogue One Episode 8 solo era,
yeah,
I'd be all for it. I'm just not that. I'm not that fan
in the
anymore.
Pocket right now.
I'm not that fan currently.
Right.
You know.
Right.
I could be that fan next year. For all you know,
Sure.
what I mean, it could be. You never know. But like, I'm just not that level of fan currently. I'm going to Disney either this year or next year specifically for the Star Wars park. I'm that level fan.
Right.
Still,
I mean, that's still,
yeah. I want to eat at the cantina. I want to go to
You
the
want some
merch
blue
store.
milk?
I want to
wanna build an R2-D2?
I don't want to do that.
Do you want to go to a Harry Potter wand? Some butter beer?
Yes, but that's it for me. Like I'm not going to go that crazy. But I mean, I think we're trying to like come up. I think like our budgetary goal is to kind of stay around 10 grand.
Mm-hmm. Traveling, airfare and everything. Yeah.
But I know like my kids are gonna have a fucking riot. Like just knowing like they're amusement park kids anyway. Like they get busy and like they like that sort of shit. So like I know it'll be worth its weight in gold. My only concern is that the baby might be a little too young.
Nah, she's perfect.
You think?
I'm gonna tell you why. She's still gonna think that's Mickey Mouse.
Right.
Because at a certain age, you're like, and she may be there because she's sharp as a tack. She may be like, she probably say, "Who that man in Mickey Mouse?"
I'm trying to think when she said,
"Who's that man?"
I said, "That's a man with the Easter bunny suit." I seen his man arms.
Right. So like, that's not Buzz Lightyear, you know. But she might. I think she's a perfect age where it's magical to kids at a certain point.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You know, kind of like
Santa Claus,
pro wrestling.
Yeah, that too, for sure.
Still real to me, damn it.
It's still it operates in that same wheelhouse, for sure. And I mean, I think that's it. Unless anybody has anything else.
No, that's not many questions this week.
Yeah. We had a light. I figured we'd have 12 questions saying, "What you think about Suicide Squad?"
Yeah.
What you think about running buck and run out? About?
Oh yeah, I mean that's that. Like, so I got plenty of those. I got plenty of those. I do. I
check. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
I just sent green check boxes now. But that like, I mean, and so it's a catch-22 that real quick because like on one hand I am appreciative that like because I've joked about it so much it's kind of become a thing and then so many people think of me because of the joke. So I appreciate all that about it. I just don't appreciate responding to everyone and none of it's personal. It's not like I'm looking at anybody's name and I'm like, oh fucking of course Alexander. Like you know what I mean? I'm like yep check yep check yep, you know.
Also that you can't make that joke anymore.
Right. I know. I got to go back to Fangry.
Yeah.
I think I got Fangry for a few more years.
You have to go to like niche shit.
I mean, it's definitely beating off to a dead horse. So
beating off to a dead horse.
Fast and Furious.
Yeah, it is. That's how you have to do it. You got to finish before the horse does.
But I'm happy. I'm happy. Like I'm happy to get those characters because like you know it's always seemed like such a no fucking brainer.
Yeah,
it's a BOGO,
and it looks like it's done. It's going to be done well.
Yeah,
with care.
Yeah, I agree.
I went through. If you guys remember my DTOFs, I had those. I'm going to drop a bunch of IKEA terms. The calyx underneath them.
Yes,
and then I had those drawers, so I had little baskets with shit in them.
Yeah.
And they were it had just gotten to a point where I was just like, the instructions, part. Well, I'll just show. I went through all that shit yesterday.
Wow.
Man, I had kept like all the cards that came with like the first one that was it was Outback, the Bad Cube out. I'm like, why do I have this?
Yeah.
Just thinking about third party. I threw away a ton of like repro label sheets with like 4 labels missing.
Label.
Like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Stickers, man.
I found my I posted this in the realm group. I found my badge from the 2002 BotCon.
Oh wow!
I mean that's not bad.
And I posted
that's memorability.
I think I have mine from 2008.
I posted what did I post? Y'all gonna fuck around with me and turn me back to the old me.
We have a shit ton of con badges, like fucking a whole box full.
I remember that one.
I mean, I got them hanging here. I got them hanging on the other room.
That was so. That was the stinkiest one I'd ever been to.
There's been some New Jersey ones that have been rough.
Stinky baddies. That's probably what you would say.
Transformers specifically.
Okay.
Oh, listen, we got in that New Jersey. I got there. I got there at like 5 to set up. We spent the night, went downstairs, set up. There's a dude already drenched in sweat and reeking. Ugh. And I remember Dustin, whoever he came with, walked in at like 6:30, and he's like, "Already? God damn! Gonna be a long day in here, boys."
Yeah.
I still have a lot of like random third party shit just because like I know it's trash, but I have a hard time throwing perfectly good things away. Not good, but like perfectly made things. Like all those cards.
I'm sending your Ferrorex. Is it Ferrorex? Neorex?
Yeah.
I'm sending that to Paul C. Yeah, I've got to do that. I've got.
You still haven't? That was
no,
like 2 months ago,
dude. I just keep forgetting. Because I gotta open it up and like I gotta bubble wrap them or something.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm not getting anything.
That's why I got rid of it.
Oh, it's just a big fuck you to me.
Yeah, because like otherwise I would have been packing it and sending it to Paul C.
No, you would have never done anything with it.
You like bump into some old man. He's like, "How's the old ball and chain?" You're like, "The fucking Neurorex."
Yeah, I can't get rid of it.
Oh yeah, my fucking floors are.
Oh, how'd they turn out?
No, they end up. They're gonna come last weekend and this weekend, but they couldn't make it this past weekend because like somebody burst a pipe somewhere and I had to go fix. So it's gonna be this Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So all done one go. There's gonna be a lot of moving for me to do. We already cleared the first floor, but like we're kind of really proficient at it. We like moved 8 detofs off of Kalax since you talked about detofs with figures in them without any of them falling over. It's fucking crazy. Just moving fucking IKEA all the time. But like now we're thinking about like, how to rearrange furniture. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah. That's what they call the poor man's move.
Yeah, we're like thinking about like just switching the game room and the guest bedroom.
Yeah.
Like, might as well. You have to move shit anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm really looking forward to these floors, man. I like this. I'm tired of carpet.
Yeah. I'll tell you though.
And like color that we want.
I mean, and I know I'm old and soft and trash and all those kind of things, but I blame, and perhaps unjustly, I don't know, but I blame this tendonitis in my left foot on those hardwood floors.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Just walking around on hard floors all the time instead of carpet.
Well, you used to wear house shoes all the time too, right?
Yeah. So I used to wear shoes all the time, but when we got the hardwood floors, I was like, I'm going to try not to wear shoes in the house. And from not wearing shoes, walking on a hard surface,
used to walking without shoes.
That probably true. I mean,
I'm always barefoot.
My back, like, because I wear slides and socks almost every day.
You wear what?
Like Adidas slides, sandals,
like,
whatever.
Sandals.
Like, and I like the ones
not
that,
like sandals,
the ones that have the nubs.
Oh yeah. The pressure point things.
Yeah. And like some days, I just like I got to go put on shoes because my lower back's trash. So
really. Because you're supposed to be like barefoot is the best for posture.
You've seen my place. I'm not barefoot. Not my shop, at least. I get on the people coming in there barefoot.
What if you had slides that were shaped like bear's feet?
Bro, that would be gangster.
I'm surprised you're not wearing clogs yet, bro. No, is it Crocs, not clogs?
Oh,
how's a wooden shoe?
Crocs.
What about clogs? Let's bring back the wooden clogs.
Oh, the zoo thing I was supposed to mention.
Yes. Zoologists.
Yes. So, like, thinking back when we went to the zoo, and they have like a little like petting zoo area, like so, like lions and tigers and bears and oh my and all that shit. But then there's like this little petting zoo, got like a fucking llama or whatever the fucking goats, square-eyed fuckers.
Hate goats. Man.
They're
gross.
cute as a little baby goats are cute.
Yes.
And then
they become demonic.
The devil.
Yeah. So then like. Horses, right? The horses like little like ponies, like miniature ponies, and they were like, did they have any horses like full but big? And I was like, well, no, but they have centaurs around the corner, just fucking with them. Jana started laughing because she knows what it is, but then the baby's like, what's a centaur? And I'm like, well, they're from Greek mythology, and I go into this whole thing, and they're like, well, they're half man, half horse, and I was like, and then like the most famous one in Greek mythology was Chiron. Doesn't matter. But he was also responsible for like health and wellness of ancient Greece, whatever that was. And she's like, really? And I was like, yeah, it's the centaur for disease control.
I enjoy that one.
Well, hey,
because I like health and I like fucking mythology.
At least
you get full points.
At least if that horse dies, you have something to beat off to.
Sure. I probably wouldn't, but
go down the valley
because I clicked on weird things in my life and it wasn't for me.
Fair enough.
And with that being said, shout out to the rest of the Cool Table. If you listen to this podcast and you have a podcast of your own, you're part of the Cool Table as far as I'm concerned.
Just get 4 people underneath of you and you'll be in the Cool Table.
Literally,
right. 4 people
sexually, and then shout out to the rest of the Nerd Rage team, Raul on Instagram and Dante the Destroyer on Facebook. He came for Suicide Squad, as did Phil. Good seeing them both. Speaking of Phil, shout out to him on Twitter and on our notes and everybody else kind of helping behind the scenes. And with that,
Flappy Labius.
Tasty Tank.
Tight Dick Player.